All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into session 27 of Trouble in Theondir. Poof, poof, poof. The sound of cannons firing reverberates through the foreboding sky as cannonballs crash down around your ship. The Arif tips Spitfire. Things are looking bleak for our group of adventurers. The previous day began with our heroes sailing with confidence northwards towards the Island of Gaerenord, with its capital city of Noradeth, in search of the fabled right Vambrace of Silus. Their journey made possible by the patronage of Lady Drelden in Truham and her provision of a ship operated by Captain Tragnold and First Mate Sallyward. This smooth sailing, however, would be interrupted by a dangerous encounter with a magically informed weather pattern. With a flash of uncharacteristic insight, or perhaps just dumb luck, Groggle would produce a pocket dimension with a potion he had stolen from the hull of the ship and throw in the Tiefling girl, Helianthus, who the group had brought with them on board. Immediately, the storm ceased, and at the same time, Bolin would have a mysterious mark burned into the skin of his entire back. Following this scare, the group would investigate the ship and discover the supplies left for them from Lady Drelden. Groggle, instead, would crawl up into the ship's crow's nest, throwing down poor Terrence, the shipmate who had been stationed there. The chaos of this senseless act would be interrupted, however, as Groggle caught sight of two ships in the distance, bearing down on the Arif-tipped Spitfire. It was the Aldaen Navy. Immediately, Captain Tragnold and First Mate Sallyward sprang into action to raise flags in order to communicate that they have no aggressive intentions. Warning shots were fired as Groggle climbed down and attempted to take over the ship. In response, the crew would turn on the group, weapons drawn. As the ships came hauntingly closer, Niv would use his previous knowledge of maritime flags and cast Silent Image, producing the illusion of an Aldean flag of royalty being hoisted up the center mast. Niv, at this point, I want you to give me a deception check.
Natural 1.
God. No.
All right, I will note that natural 1.
Oh, man.
Things are
Totally
getting off to a good start,
7,
you guys.
but
Yeah, auspicious beginnings.
You
Seeing
forgot
the
all the colors are
situation-
wrong.
Seeing the situation quickly worsen, Groggle would pull out another one of his potions, dumping it on the floor, and cast himself into the dimensional portal being formed briefly around him. Whoosh! The portal would close and Groggle had disappeared, to the relief of not a few, I might add. At the same time, the remainder of the group was suddenly overcome by the awful stench of Fermi fish. Looking down through the grates on the main deck, they would catch sight of Nibbins, opening up one of the hidden gun ports and preparing to fire a cannon on the Navy. To make things worse, Trago now caught sight of a third ship, a much larger vessel, sailing from the other direction towards the Arif-tipped Spitfire. Nibbins would light the cannon as crew members attempted to break in, and with a deafening boom, a ball of iron would crash into the lead Navy ship. With quick thinking, Niv would misty step down to Nibbins, pick up the small gnomish figure, and cast him out of the gun port into the dark sea below. The aggression of Nibbins, however, would be met by several other shots from the other vessels before the white flag was finally raised and a tenuous ceasefire was called. This ceasefire, however, was not initially noticed by the third vessel, which took a final shot at the Arif-tipped Spitfire, the cannonball ripping through the deck and sending wooden shards flying at Niv below deck. The third ship was now in sight, and the group got its first clear look at the captain with blazing orange hair and the familiar words painted in brilliant white on the hull, the Willow Weeper. At this point, the group remained still obscure to the approaching vessels, but with every second, the Navy and their small boarding ships are coming closer and closer, just as the Willow Weeper pulls in closer, preparing its gangplanks for boarding. My adventures.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Okay.
I will pass the ball back to you. What would you guys like
Jesus.
to
Fucking jump in the water or swim away.
So
do? So the Aldaen Navy is coming with its smaller vessels to to board the
But-
ship,
and
and at the same time, the
those-
Willow Weeper's coming from the other side with its gangplanks, preparing to lower them down onto the vessel. At this point,
Does Trago
nobody's
and-
shooting any more cannons.
Has Trago or Bolin noticed the other?
Yeah, we noticed
Barnard.
Barnard, don't we? Or
Yeah, you
Barnard?
guys notice the ship. You see the ship. They haven't seen you though. You're
Okay.
at this point. You're still
Do
obscure
they
to them.
are they like coming at us like they're a part of the Navy, or are they like pirates? Because I don't remember. Would they like an official Navy ship, or were they just merchants?
Well, I have written down that they're pirates attacking us. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
Barnard
true.
does not have a navy. It's not a navy ship at all. It's something entirely
Okay.
different.
But aren't the smaller boats coming from the Navy ship?
Smaller boats are coming from the
Yeah.
navy. Yep, on the port side. Yep, and you've got the Willow Weeper on your side.
And we know those holes, they only last for like a minute, right?
Yeah, they last as long as the liquid before the liquid evaporates and dries up.
Okay. So I look over at. Oh shit! I can't even. Tim, what's your character's name again?
Bolin?
Oh,
I get them mixed up too, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
like, do we need?
It's only
to
been 2
make-
years.
Do we need to go hide in case?
Session 27.
But no, Barnard, like the other ship, the Willow Weeper hasn't like tried to board us yet, though. But they are getting ready to.
Yeah, it's pulling up alongside of your ship, and you can see that the gangplanks are they're starting to get ready to lower them down. So they are preparing to board you.
Matt Groggle would like to re-emerge out of the porthole.
Yeah, if you have any,
we'll get to
anything for
Groggle in a
this?
minute.
to disguise me and Bolin,
Groggle has a little more story tonight yet.
Niv,
No.
nothing. Is the captain sitting right next to us?
He's up on deck. Yeah. Yep.
Bolin, do we need to hide in case we get
I think-
recognized?
I know the Willow Weeper, like, we recognize that ship. Like, we know
Yeah.
what ship that is. We know what that represents. I think I probably need to hide, given
Yeah.
how we left Captain Barnard. We pissed him off royally.
Yeah. I asked the captain if there's any place that he has that me and Bolin could hide.
I'm still below, like on the gun deck or whatever.
Yeah, you're
right?
still down with the guns.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you're still down.
And you guys are everyone else is up top.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't
Yeah.
even
Let
know what's
Stumpy
going
take
on.
care of it.
Well, yeah, I'm a sailing dwarf, so I'd probably run down and help assess the situation, and I don't know, start bailing water. Frankly,
Yeah, I might run up to the captain and ask him if there are any secret compartments that we can hide in, like for smuggling goods, or like this is going to end bad if they find us.
Well, we had some secret compartments. That's where Nibbins got into with the cannons, but I'm assuming the rest of the crew have now broken into there, so it's probably not so secret anymore.
wherever you are, take a bunch of Fermi fish, because it'll be hard to search for you if you stink like that,
How big are the
Or
Fermi
it'd be
fish
easier.
crates?
or be easier.
I mean, pretty normal size. I mean, 3 feet by 3 feet.
Would I be able to fit in one of those?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I think I got
you all
myself
could if
covered.
You were able to just sort of like push yourself in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hide in the Fermi fish crate.
Okay, so Trago, you head down below, and you come down and you see where the Fermi fish crates are, and a bunch of the Fermi fish have been taken out, and there's still some Fermi fish left in there, with its various scales of Ferminess, and you want to try to hide in there.
So what is the layout of the ship? Like is the where Chad is going? Is that like the third deck and the guns?
Yeah, that's
are on
all the
second
that's all the
deck,
way in the
or-
bottom. Yep, so the guns where you are, Niv, you're on the second level. That's
Okay.
also where the rooms are.
So I wouldn't necessarily see him going down anywhere.
No, you're still over by the guns, so you wouldn't see him running down there at this point.
Yeah, so would I be able to get into a crate and then like kind of close it behind me?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
And are there bottles of Fermi fish already kind of sitting out?
Yeah, there's some taken out the Nibbins took out the day before.
Okay. Can I like tip one over just to make sure it smells as bad as possible down there, so that and then jump in the crate and try to lock it as much as I can behind me.
Do you want to? Which one do you want to tip over? Do you want to break open an extra Fermi or just a regular Fermi?
Extra crispy.
I just don't want to. Okay, I'm just going to do a regular Fermi because I don't want to be like gagging if they
Okay.
end up searching.
Give me a Constitution save as you break this open to fill the area with this stench of Fermi fish.
That's not going to be great. That's a 5.
A 5. Okay. So as you break open this bottle of just regular Fermi fish, the stench begins to fill this entire area. The hull is just disgusting, and you begin now to retch uncontrollably. And you're going to be actually doing this for the next 3 minutes. You're going to be holding your gut, retching horribly. So let's hope that you have at least 3 minutes until anyone comes down.
Oh God, yeah, this is bad.
I'm going to put the ring on. I just realized I will just put the ring on.
Oh yeah, you got a ring.
Okay. Yes, Bolin, you put the ring on, and immediately, you disappear from view, and you once again begin to see everything in these sharp grays and blacks. You can see the ships and everything, but everything seems to be moving rather slowly for you as you walk around like normal. But yeah, you are able to evade the sight of the other people around you.
Can I surmise that the anchor has been dropped on the pirate ship?
Give me an investigation check.
I might not know that with my limited nautical. Natural 20.
Natural 20. You can
for 23.
Yes, you can notice that in order to make the sharp move that they did to swing alongside, that they had to actually drop the anchor down a bit, and they're dragging it now. You don't know if the water's too deep that it actually grabbed anything, but it's at least slowing them down, something of a break of sorts. So it is down at this point.
Can I take is the gangplank up on our? Are we connected now?
Not yet. They're
Okay.
they're coming in. They're preparing to lower their gangplanks down.
So the Aldeans are going to board us first?
Yeah, they're coming from both sides. So on your port side, you have the Aldaen Navy, and it's coming, and they're beginning. The ships are now actually up alongside of the of your vessel, and they're beginning now to climb the ropes up and join up on deck. At the same time, the other ship is coming over, the Willow Weeper, and they're about to drop their gangplanks down.
And this other navy doesn't care that there's a pirate ship right there?
Apparently not.
Can
Trey goes down
people
in
hear
the hull.
if I were to go up next to Jen, and whisper in his ear, would he be able to hear me with the ring on or no?
He would be able to hear you, but your voice would be a lot faster. So you'd have to try to speak extremely slowly. So yes, everyone can hear you like normal, but it's there's a lot of swooshing noises and very rapid footfalls. So if you move around a lot, you'll be able to be heard.
And do I know if I were to cast a spell, let's say, for example, to affect the hull integrity of another ship while I have the ring on, would the spell affect the reality, or would it affect the pocket dimension?
No, you'd have to.
I don't know.
You'd have to try. You don't know. You've never actually cast a spell inside of this dimension.
You're right. Okay. Oh boy.
So the Willow Weeper.
I got an idea.
The Willow Weeper comes across, and as they get closer, Trey goes down there retching horrifically. And there's something of a gut-wrenching thud as the Willow Weeper crashes into the starboard side of your vessel, and you see immediately they release these weighty gangplanks, and they come crashing down onto the deck, breaking several of the boards on the deck. Crew members from the Willow Weeper, now armed with knives and daggers, come flooding across the makeshift bridges, and only a few strides behind them comes Captain Barnard. Now, you guys, Trago and Bolin, you would recognize him. The other guys, you've never seen this guy before. He comes strutting with confidence, a pistol in his hand. And at the same moment, troops from the Aldaen Navy also are able to climb up the other side on the port side, and they've secured their smaller vessels to the hull, and now are scampering up, jumping over, and there's a whole handful of men that come over as well. With an air of authority, they're shooting across their faces, they climb onto the deck. And it looks to be behind them as well, the first mate from one of the ships. And Captain Tragnall, the captain of your vessel, raises his arms now, as if to try to command both sides to hold their positions.
Hey,
And
Matt,
there's
down where I am, can I see or hear that people are coming aboard? Or
Yes, absolutely. You heard definitely the gangplanks crash down. You can hear the men scampering up. You can hear the crew member in your vessel there in the Helianthus Spitfire who are kind of running around. It's kind of chaotic and there's a lot of commotion up there.
Okay. So what else is on this level? Is it just cannonballs and gunpowder and
Yeah, in the hidden
cannons?
area where you are, it's a little hidden area of the ship. There's cannonballs, gunpowder, cannons. There's rooms there further down, the rooms that you guys have been staying in. And if you continue down, eventually you'll get to the captain's quarters. You go up a little bit of a stairs up to the captain's quarters at the end of the hallway.
So, like, when you say hidden room, like, do you mean that people wouldn't know that the ship has cannons?
Exactly. Yeah, there was like a false wall there, so there was no obvious way to get into those rooms. So there's the false wall. It looked as if it was just a normal side of the ship.
Okay. And
no clear doors.
Which side am I on? The Willow Weeper side or the Aldaen Navy?
You are on the Navy side. That's the side that Nibbins was able to successfully shoot off a shot at the Navy.
And Matt, the Aldaen Navy, is that like an official navy? Like, would they be under the purview of Tyrius, say, if he were alive? Like, are they official or are they a private? Are these private ships?
No, so this is the Navy from Terraven, the continent. So this is King
Right.
Felwyn's Navy. So these are actually from the other side. Yeah.
Okay.
The Sons of Silus is the group that you guys have been running with over on the island. But now we've got Felwyn's forces coming over now as well.
Oh, so these are Felwyn, that's mainland forces?
Yep. Yeah, that's the continent.
Oh,
That's right.
Yeah.
It's worse. It's
Well,
worse.
so they would know that this ship is from the island of Terraven.
Yeah, apparently.
So we've got hostiles and hostiles.
Yep, that's accurate.
Tragnall, he raises his arms to try and command both sides to hold their positions as they climb onto the ship. And there's a brief moment of silence as a tension sort of comes to a breaking point. And just as Tragnall is about to speak, the captain or the first mate of the Navy steps forward. And he looks at Tragnall and says to him, "No need to speak, Captain. You're no longer the authority of this vessel." And with this he turns to Captain Barnard. "Good day, Captain Barnard. I see you are out fishing again." He pauses and looks to his right-hand soldier, then he looks back. "Your contribution as is standard." And Captain Barnard snarls as he gestures to three of his crew members who labor under the weight of a large chest that they drag down the gangplank and set in the center of the deck. And the first mate from the Navy gestures to two of his men who hurry forward and open the chest, revealing what looks to be a marvelous heap of gold coins. And with another nod from the first mate, the naval officers close the chest and drag it back to their side of the ship. "Good. As is usual, we do our sweep for traders to Terraven, per Felwyn's orders. And then the ship is yours." Barnard straightens up a bit, grinning from ear to ear, while flipping a single golden coin in his left hand. "Well, I'll be curious to see if you find any this time," he says.
Oh my god, that's the same gold piece. It is, isn't it? It's the same
So
gold piece.
Matt,
gold
is it?
piece?
Because there's
What?
there's four.
You don't
ships
remember.
total,
No, I
right?
don't.
Yeah. I might have it written down.
Matt, there's
What's gold
four
piece?
ships total.
So there are two Navy ships, and there's the much larger Willow Weeper.
Right, and then ours.
And then our ship.
Yeah, and your ship as well.
So-
yeah.
Where is the second Navy ship? Because I'm guessing it's Navy ship, and then parallel to that is us, and then parallel to that on the other side is the Willow Weeper.
Yep, the two Navy ships are a little further away. They actually took some smaller vessels and rowed up, keeping their distance from you guys.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The Willow Weeper, however, is right alongside your ship.
So how, when you say they're keeping their distance, how far?
No, they're about 400 feet away.
Oh. Poop.
Mike, what is the gold piece?
I don't know what I should say. Keep you in suspense.
Didn't you like flip him a gold piece like when we left the ship?
Me?
Yeah.
When you arrived
Like,
in
I
Helder
vaguely-
Harbor,
I thought it
Vaguely
was
remember something like
Trago.
that.
Trago, you flipped up a gold piece onto the deck
Yeah.
for him.
Because I do have it written down here that
Oh.
Captain has a vendetta against me right now. So that's why I'm like, I don't have disguise self ready right now. Otherwise, I could have just disguised myself and at least had an hour of, whatever. But
And and Barnard wouldn't recognize Caroline either.
No,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
he wouldn't recognize Caroline at all.
Okay.
Only the two of you, and Groggle.
And Groggle.
And I will
Okay.
say, it's been 4 minutes now, Trago. So you are now done retching from the Fermi fish after this 4 minutes of boarding and of this conversation between the Aldaen Navy and Barnard and his crew. Trignold is entirely silent at this moment. Obviously, there's some more powerful authorities on deck. As the Aldaen Navy now, the men begin to walk their way around the ship, looking for so-called traders to the mainland, to Terravan. So they begin sweeping the ship now. What do you want to do, you guys?
I mean, what are they even looking for? What?
they're looking for
I mean, what is a
like the
trader?
enemies.
They're pirates. They're
Yeah.
Well, right, but if they're actually looking for traders,
So the Aldaen Allegiance is
What?
looking for
Just
any
something
signs
that
of
tells them that the ship is from the island.
I mean, is it obvious that we came from Terabin?
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty clear that you guys
Yeah.
came from the island. Yeah. That you came from the island of Falandir. And the crew now begins to sort of gather up the crew members from Trignol. They're going to start questioning people now. And a couple of them begin to make their way downstairs into the second and the third level now.
We just got into a fight with them immediately before this because Groggle killed that dude. So they're going to give us all up super fast.
Oh yeah, you threw Terrence off of the
Yeah, that's
crow's
what I-
nest.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God.
You're welcome,
I mean,
guys.
guys, I have a plan. It's not really a plan. It's an idea. Shall I just do this? My idea?
I have an idea too, but that's kind of a last resort idea.
Bolin,
Hey,
where
guys,
Bolin, where are you
WWG?
exactly
I'm on
right
the
now?
deck. I'm deck of the
You're on
ship.
the deck.
But I'm invisible. I'm
Yep.
my pocket
Um,
dimension. Whatever.
How close are you to Barnard?
Close enough where I can hear. I mean,
Okay.
I want to be able to know what's being discussed.
And pretty soon you see actually Bolin from where you're standing. You see that Goddard now begins to make his way down as well, joining Captain Barnard. This is the first mate on the Willow Weeper.
Matt,
And the two of them are now standing next to each other there.
was I able to crawl into one of the crates then and kind of get it locked behind me?
You are, and go ahead and give me actually a stealth check to see how well you're able to sort of pull yourself in there and hide.
Oh, that's pretty good. What is that? It's a 16, and that's going to be. Character sheet. I think it's going to be a 27.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 27.
Okay.
You have a
And then
plus
I want-
13.
I rolled a 16, and then I have a plus 11 to stealth and sleight of hand.
What?
That's you get expertise, which doubles my proficiency
That's
bonus.
insane. Wow.
And then I want to pull out, or at least make ready my one little vial of Mittendorf merriment as a last ditch.
All right. You're holding the Mittendorf merriment in your hand. prepared. And you guys see now that the first mate, the captain, first mate of the Aldaen Allegiance now is walking over to Trongold and telling him, asking him, are there any other men here? We need to round them up. And by the way, that was the most pathetic attempt I have ever seen to see anybody try to fly the royal Aldaen flags. Absolutely pathetic attempt. The ship alone would have given you away. I mean, royalty does not travel in these type of vessels, but a pathetic attempt with that flag. Learn your maritime flags a little bit better next time, he says.
That's great.
And at this point, Barnard actually steps a little bit closer to Goddard. And Bolin, give me a quick perception roll. You said you're pretty close to them?
Yeah, I mean, within maybe 10, 15 feet.
Okay.
Perception?
Yep.
16.
16, okay. As the Aldaen Allegiance now begins to round up the troops, the crew, and some others begin to move downstairs now, joining now on the second and heading down into the hull on the third level, you see Barnard kind of step aside to Goddard. In a little more muffled voice, he says to him, Goddard, when the Navy finishes up and gets the hell out of our way, have our crew transfer all of the cargo, ammunition, and food supplies onto our vessel. And do it quickly. We're wasting good time that others might use to get to Noradeath before us. We cannot afford that. You know how much that Vambrace is worth to Felwyn. And who knows how long that old art collector has left. He could fall dead at any moment. And Goddard, pass on a message to the crew. As soon as we are loaded and at a safe distance, blast this pathetic Theondir vessel to pieces. We don't want word of our handiwork getting around. And Goddard says, all right, sir. And you see Goddard turn around and head back into the gangplank, gathering up some crew now to begin to unload the crates and the ammunition and the food supplies as soon as the Aldaen Navy is finished with their work, their sweep.
How do they know we have any ammunition?
Because they saw you guys fire off on the Navy. They also took a good shot off on you because they realized you guys were firing something.
So this room is secret, but they know we have cannons somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk back to the far, like the bow of the ship, and cast Water Walk.
Okay.
Okay. It lasts for an hour. And I want to wait until the naval, like the rowboats, start heading back.
Okay.
So just let me know when they leave.
Okay.
Let me know when they leave.
Okay. So, Jen, you were up on the top of the deck as well, and you're getting herded together with the rest of the crew members off to the side now. And the Aldaen naval officers are now going through asking questions to all of you about where you're coming from, about your whereabouts, things you've been doing the last couple weeks. And you get a soldier that comes up to you and immediately asks you, what is your name? Where are you from? Not very often we see little dwarves on these ships.
If I lie, the rest of the crew, they know who I am, right? They know I'm not part of their crew.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I guess I have to tell them the truth then. I'm a working sailor. Been on the seas now for 10 years, and I'm from Holstenwall on the island of Terraven.
Okay. What are your allegiances to Felwind?
My allegiance is to any captain and any ship that I'm currently afloat on. I don't have much allegiance to Terraven.
All right, very well, very well. They move on to the next guy as well. Start asking more questions. They don't seem quite very interested in you, a little dwarf guy who seems a bit rough with one arm. Moving on to the next people. Drago, at this point, a couple of the soldiers come down, and they're actually unable to. They don't notice anything out of the ordinary. But they begin to look through around the crates, walking around, seeing if there's any stowaways there or anything like that. Begin to open a couple of the crates, not the Fermi fish one, but there's a couple other crates, just to peek and see what's inside. A couple of them are making their way on the second floor, closer to where you are, Niv, and they're heading into the kitchen areas, looking through rooms, like they're opening the doors. If they're locked, they're trying to kick them in. Making a clean sweep of all of the people, or all the different rooms there. And they also, at this point, Niv, they do see that there is a bit of a crack in the wall where the crew members were trying to get at Nibbins when he was firing off a shot, because the wall is a bit broken at this point. And they do begin to notice that there's a bit of a crack, and they begin to start peeking in and looking in to see what is inside of this wall.
Okay, let me look something up here real quick. 60.
On the bottom there in the hull, I can say that they pull out a few of the crates, and they find some of the potions. They find some of the strange art pieces. There's some glassware that they find from JP Frenzine, and other things, some clothing. So they seem pretty satisfied with that. They close up the crates, and they make one more quick sweep. You're still hidden pretty well, Trago. At this point, the stench is really horrible in this place, so they don't want to remain very long. So they finish their sweep of the hull area where all the cargo is, and they head back up to the second floor.
How many crewmates came onto our ship, including Barnard and Goddard?
Yeah, Barnard had about 15, 16 guys run down.
Wow.
Yeah. And from the other ship, you had a good dozen plus the.
Okay.
Plus
Is
the
there
leader.
anybody left on the Willow Weeper?
Do you want to run over there and check, or do you want to take a look?
I mean,
give me a perception check.
If I'm on the main deck, can I see anybody on the main deck?
Give me a quick perception check to see how well you can see over there.
That is a 17.
17. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of crew over there. The Willow Weeper has upwards of 35, 40 crew members. It's a massive ship. So yeah, there's still a lot of crew there. At least the ones you can see on deck, quite a few. You don't know how many are below.
When there's an opportunity, I want to walk via the gangplank onto their ship.
Okay.
And head down to the very bottom, like below, as far below deck as possible.
Okay. So you make your way across, Bolin. Go ahead and are you going to try and stealth your way across, or you just want to run across?
Nope. I mean, I'm going super fast, right? So
Yep.
I'm not
Hey,
gonna.
Matt.
Yep.
You have
Go
a
ahead, Niv.
player. You have a player's handbook, right?
I do. Yeah.
Can you turn to page 260 and read minor illusion? I have a question about it, and I'll leave it up to you because it doesn't really say. But what I want to do, can I use that to disguise myself? Like if I make an illusion around me, will they still see me?
Create a sound or an image of an object within range. So you can make an object. So chair, muddy footprint, small chest, no larger than a 5-foot cube. Yeah, what did you have in mind there?
Well, because if there's guys peeking in there, can I just sit down on the floor and make a pile of cannonballs around myself?
Yep, absolutely.
Or will it look like a dude sitting inside a fake pile of cannonballs?
No, you can make the illusion between you and the wall. Absolutely.
Okay, so it only lasts for 1 minute, but it's a cantrip. So, because they can see through that crack, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do is use that to try and hide myself from them.
Okay. You see them peering in, and you make this. You cast this cantrip, this illusion of cannonballs in front of you, a 5 foot by 5 foot cube, like a big pile of cannonballs that successfully hides you from their vision. And you hear the men on the other side saying, "Oh, looks like we found some cannons in here. We got cannonballs."
And how many? Can I tell how many are down there right now?
Sounds like at least 2 or 3. Could be 4. One of them turns to the other guy, says, "Run back up and tell the first mate we got cannonballs down here. We'll check around and see if we see anybody in here." You can see them like pushing their weapons or swords in there to try and like crack it a little bit more to get a better view of what's inside of this room to see if there's anybody in there. Apparently, they're not so interested in ammunition. They're more interested in any sort of people that they can find. So it works for now. Bolin, you run across the gangplank. And you get across on the other side of the ship, and you're able to do it quickly, and no one notices much anything at all. You get into the ship, and you want to head down below. Is that right?
As far below as I can.
Okay, in the center of the ship, then you have your stairwell, and you're able to head all the way down to the bottom of the ship. And you get to the bottom, and this is also an area where they have a lot of cargo and other things. And at this point, you smell a strong odor, not like a Fermi fish kind of odor, but there's definitely a sort of a stench that it could smell. That smells something like like stale air, potentially like feces and things like that. Maybe crew members had been, coming down here to take care of their business or something. You don't know. But it smells horrific down here, along with all these crates and everything around you.
Is it visible? Can I see anything? Or just smell?
Give me another perception check.
That's got. Ooh, that's 26.
26.
Sorry,
don't see
23.
23. Okay, you don't see anything too out of the ordinary. Although you do notice that there is a bit of a pool of what looks to be water, or it could be fish guts, urine that is running up against the wall, the side of the ship, the hull. There's sort of a pool that has formed around the edge of the wall there.
Any gunpowder barrels or cannonballs or anything like that?
No, strangely enough, where you are, it's just the wall, and there's this pool there, and there's crates and stuff behind you that are centered in the center of the ship. So there's nothing really against the walls at this point. The hull.
Can I look and do a search of the barrels? Am I alone?
Yeah, with that perception check, yeah, there's nobody else down here. The crew have all run up on top of the deck to make sure to be able to support Barnard.
Yeah, so I'll take a couple minutes and just do a really quick, what's down here.
Give me an investigation check.
12.
12. Okay. You rip open some of the crates, and there's various dried food supplies, dried fish, dried meats, things like that. There's a couple barrels with some wine, but none of them seem to be leaking. So this seems to be something different than that. It's not as if the food has been leaking out into the hull. But definitely there's a stench coming from that pool. It's pretty disgusting. Not as bad as the Fermi fish, but still pretty disgusting.
Okay. I'm going to hold tight.
Okay.
No, sorry. I'm going to go back up to the bow of the top deck of the Willow Weeper.
Yep.
And I just want to survey and see what happens.
Okay.
Just going to hang out there.
After a couple minutes, you see some of the Aldaen men who were down below come up, and you hear them shouting out to the first mate. There's a bunch of ammunition down there, some bunch of cannonballs. We still haven't seen anybody. We haven't seen the little girl either. We'll just keep looking. We'll check out the second floor. We'll come back. They head back down again and check. Still in the hallways, checking some more, looking around. The crew members on your vessel are still sort of huddled up and still being questioned by the Aldaen Navy. You can see that the first mate for the Aldaen Navy is getting a little irritated because he's not exactly finding anything that is helping him out. He's obviously been commissioned with the job of finding things and finding results, and he's not getting very much here. He's getting a bit frustrated at this point.
I mean, I gotta play, but I'm waiting to see what you guys do, or what Barnard
I'm still
does.
just hiding. I don't know what anybody's doing right now. I'm kind of just hiding and waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, because I'm guessing I was probably not able to hear them talking about sinking this ship after they leave. Is that right?
No, you missed that point. Yeah, you didn't hear that. Bolin is the only one who has that knowledge.
Okay.
And Matt, what is proper pirate protocol? Would it be to
Well, let me tell you how it is.
take these? Would it be common knowledge that these people would be taken as captives, or are we going to get our throats cut? Like, do we know what to expect?
With Barnard, you have no clue. He's not. He doesn't really follow typical piracy standards. He could do anything. At this point, he seems, from what Bolin heard at least, that he seems pretty set on lighting this ship up when they take off, with or without crew members on it.
I might make it clear that I am a capable sailor, so if he's looking for anyone to join his crew, I don't know. But, Carolon's here too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He's not a sailor. He's got no, he doesn't have a sword with him, but...
Nope.
Like, oh, God.
And you notice that the Aldaen Allegiance is extremely interested in Carolon, because it's not very often that they're dragonborn on these ships, and that really sticks out. So there are actually a bunch of them in discussion with him at this point. And why don't you, Tim, go ahead and give me a bit of a deception check. We'll assume that Carolon is not being completely honest with these people. Give me a deception check on Carolon.
All right. Uno momento, por favor.
I wonder how much we told the crew about, like, are they taking us? Do they know anything about why, like, we're after the Vambraces? Like, because our captain is a drunk and can't.
I mean, I'm still downloading the character sheet for some reason. Oh, here we go. Nope, never mind. I mean, I rolled a natural 13, so whatever his bonus is, I don't know.
Let me see here. I've got it right here as well. +1 there. Yeah. Okay, so 14. Okay, yeah. So he seems to be holding his own right now in the questioning, but they are still keeping their eyes on him. He's a very strange figure in this story, and they don't really understand who this guy is and what he's doing. At this point, the Aldaen Navy comes back to the first mate and says, "All right, we haven't found anything on the second floor except for the cannonballs. There's some crates and other things there, but the hull and the second floor are cleared. All we got is the crew here." So the first mate commands them to finish up their interviewing, and a little disappointed now that they haven't found much at all. He turns back to Tragnold and says to Captain Tragnold, "We'll be keeping our eyes on you. Just make sure that you don't cross Fellwind. We'll be back if we need to." And he tells his men to sort of load up, looking over at Captain Barnard. And he says, "Barnard, it's your turn. Whatever you want's yours. We're done here." And Barnard commands his crew members now to join the ship. And so you see about 15, 20 of his crew members now coming down in the ship, heading down below, and they begin to take the supplies out of the ship and head back and bring them back onto their ship. And you can hear them coming down to the second floor there, into the third floor, Trago. You hear people all around you now. Immediately they come down and say, "Oh, what is that stench? Let's get this stuff out of here quickly." And they begin to pick up crates around you. You can hear crates being moved all around you, Trago.
I'm gonna just for now I'm gonna hold tight in the crate that I'm in, not do anything.
Okay. All right.
Did after those guys looked through that crack, did they all go back up top? Like, did I have a chance to leave that little?
Yeah, we can say like
whatever you want to call it.
when they all left and went back up, and then after your minute went over, your illusion left, and you are now able to leave the small room if you need to. From the inside, you can see there's a latching system, so you're able to get out without needing to break anything.
Oh man. Would I be able to get into? Because there's another fake room on the other side with more cannons, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do I know how to get into this room?
You can give me an investigation check, but it's going to be a very high DC.
Hmm. 12.
12. Okay. You can sense that there's some empty space back there, but you have no idea how to get into there.
Okay. I guess I'll just go into, because it's just rooms, like living quarters, and then these fake compartments, right? On this level?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, I'm just going to go hide in one of the rooms, I guess.
Okay. All right. You hear a bunch of noise as Barnard's crew comes crashing down the stairs. They're down in the hull at this point, and they begin now to walk into the second floor as well, looking for any supplies. Go ahead and give me if you're going to. Are you going to hide? Try to hide, Niv.
Well, because I guess maybe I should have been more specific as to which room I was in. But what's in there? Like, I mean, is it just like a bunk bed and that's it?
Yeah, you have the standard rooms that you guys were staying in. You have some different crew rooms as well. And you have the, further down the hallway up the stairs, you have the captain's quarters, which is locked at this point. But yeah, it's the rooms that you've been staying in the last few days.
Oh, God. I got an idea of what I'd like to do, but
Just do it.
Well, no, because it'd be really bad. Like, if there's more than one person.
At this point, Trigo, you feel your crate that you're in is now picked up. And one of the crew members says, this one's a little heavier than the other ones. Let's get it up. And you can feel yourself now in this box being moved around as the crew members are carrying you back up the stairs. Eventually, you're coming up onto the deck, and you can see some sunlight now is just ever so slightly piercing through the crate now. You know that you're on the top of the deck as the crew is beginning to carry you across the gangplank onto the Willow Weeper.
I mean, I'm gonna wait until we get on the Willow Weeper. Do I like?
Okay.
All I know for sure though is that they're carrying me somewhere.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And there's only just a little crack of the thing open.
Yeah, you can
And
just
they're like
barely see out.
nobody really got hit with the stench of the Fermi fish then. Like I did?
No, at this point it had been enough time that it had kind of like dispersed in the room a little bit more, so it wasn't as bad. But you still have bottles of Fermi fish inside of your crate.
Yeah, how heavy or like how thick is the wood on these boxes?
I mean, you're looking like a couple inches.
A couple inches here. Do I have? I can't do anything with presentation. How hard would it be to take my dagger and like drill a hole in one and then pour some Fermi fish out, so they try to get them, like.
You could definitely find a knot maybe and see if you could work your knife into a knot and see if you can pop the knot out of the wood. This is knotty wood, so
I'll try that.
All right, give me first of all, give me an investigation check. It's still a little dark in there. Let's see if you can actually find a knot that you'd be able to work on.
Got a pretty decent Should
In
have
a
been.
crate of fish.
I got a 14.
A 14. Okay. I mean, you look around. There's enough knots. You can see there's plenty to work on. You should be able to stick your knife in and try to see if you can knock one out a little bit. But it's going to make a little bit of noise. Do you want to do it right now while they're carrying you?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to jam your knife into the box?
Yep. I'm gonna try to do it quietly. I'm not gonna
I want to bore a hole.
Well, because I want him to
Quietly.
set me down. I want him to, I was trying to how can I get him to not bring me on their ship? I mean, I'm gonna try it, man. I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Give me actually an attack roll.
Yep.
With your normal dexterity for your knife.
17.
Okay. And roll me some damage there too.
Damage. I'd be using, so it's 1d4. 6.
6. Okay. So you slam your knife into this. You knock your knife into the side of the wood while they're carrying it, and you're able actually to puncture a hole through one of the knots. But immediately when you do that, the two guys carrying the crate drop it on the ground, on the deck of the ship, of the vessel you're on, the Airactive Spitfire, and they they take a step back and sort of startled, saying, "Well, there's something alive in this one. What is going on here?" And they both take a step backwards from this. Looking over at Tragnall, they say, "Are you carrying live animals in these?" Tragnall looks back kind of raises his hand. He doesn't quite know what to say.
That's our Tragnold.
Hold on here. What can I do with? I gotta read over this a whole bunch.
Okay, well, he's reading real quick, Matt.
Yep.
Is there space for me to hide behind the door, so when they open it, they wouldn't immediately see me?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that.
Give me a stealth check while you're at it too.
12-sided. Ooh, that's not too bad. 20.
20. Okay, no problem. You slide into this little pocket behind the door there,
Okay.
and you are perfectly hidden.
And I want to be notified as soon as the door starts to creak open.
Okay. Yep. You guys notice now, back to you, Bolin, that the Aldaen Navy now, they have successfully climbed down the port side and they're going back down the ropes, and they're in their vessels now, beginning to row back to their ships, and prepared to leave the vessel and leave Barnard with his money. They have the chest of gold with them that Captain Barnard paid them, and they are heading back to their ships at this point.
Okay. I'm going to go back down to the bottom of the ship.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere in the ship.
Gosh.
And because there's nobody down there, right?
Not that you've seen, no?
Yep.
Okay.
Flaming Sphere, and then I'm just going to come back up to the top. I'm going to go back onto our ship.
Okay, so immediately when you cast Flaming Sphere, fill me in about what the spell does as far as damage.
5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space. Creature takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save. But it's wood, so I'm assuming it catches fire. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So immediately when you
Which
do
ship,
that,
hold on. Which ship are you doing this on? The Willow Weeper.
he's on the Willow Weeper.
Yeah.
He's on the Willow Weeper. So immediately when you cast this, we can just say this. Immediately, you are sort of thrust out of your pocket dimension. So as you're casting this spell, and you find yourself now sort of waking up like the first few times you try to put on the ring. In your left hand, you're grasping the ring as if you had taken it off. You are no longer in your pocket dimension, and you're casting the spell at the same time. So in some sense, the magical spell has cast you out of your dimension with the ring.
Does it
if
still?
that makes sense.
Do I still cast the spell?
You still cast the spell, but
Okay.
you are no longer in your dimension with your ring, so you're entirely visible at this point.
Can I put it back on?
You could, yeah.
So yeah, as soon as I realized that, I would put it back on and then go back up.
And immediately the fire hits this wood and the crate, and they begin to to burn in this intense heat. And as you do this, and you turn around to head upstairs, you hear this feebled scream from what sounds like an elderly gentleman. Help me!
He's old. He's going to die anyways. Keep going.
What?
As the fire begins to spread, and suddenly you hear a pounding on the wall. It seems like it's on the hull of the ship, but you hear a pounding exactly where that puddle of stench was, over on the wall, as the fire now begins to spread across the crates. Once again, you hear this voice, "Help me!" pounding on the wall.
Okay. Is there fire that I've created too much for me to like walk through it or like into it to try and just ascertain if there's a door there or something, or is it like a infernal blaze of chaos?
It hasn't completely taken off yet. I mean, it's still, but it's a ball of flame at this point.
Could
you
I
have
safely
to run through it.
Okay, could I safely, or at least somewhat safely, run through it and try
You
to
can
open
try.
the door?
You're gonna have to give me a dexterity check, though.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, trying to run through the flames.
Dexterity is not good. That is a 10.
A 10.
Okay.
Okay, as you run through, you are able to get through the flames, but you still take 3 points of fire damage as you run over to this wall, where this puddle of stench is. The flames are now starting to grow even more, though, and you begin to search around. Give me an investigation check while you're at it.
15.
13.
15.
15. Okay, so you begin to search around, and you can't really see any door or any frame like that. But at the same time, on the other side of the wall, again, this pounding comes, and you hear this voice screaming out as the heat and the fire now is beginning to move up against the wall.
How do I open this door? I'll yell not super loud so anybody else can hear me, but loud enough where he should be able to hear me. How do I open the door?
On the other side of this wall, you hear once again this panicky voice of an elderly man. Eric, what would you like to yell back to Bolin?
Oh,
Get me out of here! Get me out of here!
Eric's fourth character.
I can pay you. I can pay you. Save me.
How? Help me understand. How?
Land. I'm a billionaire from the mainland.
No, how do I open the door?
I don't know. Cast detect magic.
I'm a billionaire from the mainland.
I mean,
Use your axe. Use a weapon.
oh yeah, I have a sword, I guess.
That's a good place to
Hurry,
start.
fool. Hurry.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll take a chop at the wall with the sword.
All right, give me an attack. Give me an attack.
Thus ends Eric's fourth character.
Yeah.
To death.
Oh, no, I have a mace. Plus 320.
20. Okay. Wow. How roll for damage?
Is that a 1d6? 1d6 plus 2 is a 4 damage.
4. Okay, with your mace, you're able to make a hole into what looks to be another false door. There seems to be another hidden room, and you make a hole through there, and suddenly you can look inside, and there you see. What does he see?
A feeble old man. Right?
Super descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees a feeble old man exactly like that who has some rather fancy clothing that has been sort of soiled and worn, and he's chained both in his arms and his feet, not to the walls or anything, but he's just chained so that he can't run, and he's sitting there panicked.
Get me out of here! Get me out of here right now! Please help me.
I mean, you're on your own, buddy, and I'm running off. Like, I don't know who this guy is, so. I'm gonna get him free enough to let him out, but I'm not sticking around.
So you're gonna pound a little bit more on the door.
And I'll give it a couple more slashes, and as long as I'm still safe, like I don't want to burn to death for this fool.
The Vambrace of Silus. I know where it is.
Oh, and I'll stop. And I'll maybe more intently.
The fire is spreading at this point.
God damn it, Groggle. Ugh. Okay.
Groggle? What's Groggle got to do with
Groggle? I will cast Create or Destroy Water, and create 10 gallons of water to put out the flipping fire.
Suddenly, the hull opens up, and this gallons of water just fall onto the fire across the crates, and it successfully puts out the fire. At this point, there's a lot of steam coming up, and commotion still up above as you hear the crew members are bringing crates back and forth. And now you are standing in front of this man with his navy blue coat, golden flourishes around the collars, and he's standing there chained up.
Is he freed?
Holding a cane in one hand. He's not a chain to the wall or anything, but he has chains both to his hands and between.
Like, is he free from Is he free from the wall?
Yeah, we'll say you're able to, with a few more hits, you're able to break through enough of a hole there.
So I'll take off the ring so he can see me. I'll say, "You better be worth it, old man."
I'll make it worth your while. Just watch.
And I'll say, I can't. Can I use my mace to break his chains so he can release his feet?
Go ahead and give me an attack on that.
With my mace, it's 21.
21. Okay, roll damage for me.
Damage is 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. Yeah, I would say with that you're able to break his legs free, and so he can now walk like normal, run like normal.
Thank you. Now
run up to the other ship as fast as you can, and I'll be right behind you. You won't see me, but I'll be right behind you.
My good sir, I don't really run, but I'll do my best. And I start.
Well, if you want to live,
I start hobbling. Start hobbling towards the others, up and out.
And at this point, Trigo, up on the deck, the soldiers are backed up now, and they now come back, and they take out their swords, and they jam into the top of the crate, and try to flip the top of the crate open to see what the heck is moving in this crate. They pop it open, and they see you in this crate looking up at them. Niv, at this point, a soldier also walks into the room to investigate this room where you are, steps through the doorway, looks around, and is looking for anybody that they can find.
As soon as I see the door start to move, I want to cast Silent Image, which it does have a verbal component, so I don't know if I can whisper that. I don't know how loud verbal components are. But I want to use
whisper it.
Silent Image and create a naked lady cowering in the far corner.
What race?
From the door. Human.
What race? That's your first question. How big are her knockers?
And the soldiers walk in, and immediately they see this this woman cowering there. And
so
they
there is more than one.
Yeah, there's two of them at this point.
Okay.
They came to the door. Yep.
Now, because I also want to, because that's a concentration spell, but its duration is 10 minutes. So I can cast another spell, correct? Because concentration only breaks if I take damage, or
cast another spell.
I think.
Right. Was it if you cast another spell that requires concentration? That's you can't do that. You can't do two concentration spells at the same time.
Right. So I don't want to do another concentration.
I think if you concentration, I don't think you cast any spells. Why don't you guys check that up? Look at that. We'll go back up to the deck at this point. Trago, this lid comes flying off, and the soldiers immediately step back, and they're like, "What the hell? There's a halfling in here!"
Shit. So how much time from when they drop me to when they like open up the crate? Like just a couple seconds?
They dropped you, they step back, they shout over the Tragnold, and then they come back and immediately stick their knives in. So you have about 15-20 seconds.
It says normal activity such as moving and attacking doesn't interfere with concentration. The following factors can break concentration: casting another spell that requires concentration,
right,
taking damage, being incapacitated or killed.
Right. So if you cast another spell that requires concentration, you cannot cast another spell.
Right.
Okay. I'll let you cast another one.
Okay.
Let's go back to Trago here, though. Trago, they just popped this lid off, and you had about 15-20 seconds. At this point, by the way, this old man is starting to take off out of the bottom of the Willow Weeper. Bolan's got his ring on. He's invisible now, and he takes off, and he's heading up as well. Jen, what are you doing over there? You're with the crew. The crew is getting like worked up now and excited because something is happening. They don't quite know what's going on. What are you doing, Jen?
I've been thinking about this though. Like, at what point do we want to start fighting back? Like, I assume I don't have any of my weapons though. Like, all that crap's probably still in our room.
Yeah, you wouldn't have your weapons on, or I mean, you have your normal weapons on you, but like none of your ton of your gear. That'd be down in your rooms. But the stuff you normally have on you.
Is the Aldaen ship? Is their gangplank still down, or are we just dealing with Barnard's men?
So the Aldaen ships, they now have made their way back, and they're getting back onto their normal ships. They're about 400 feet away at this point, and they're beginning now to prepare to sail away at this point. So. The Aldaen, at this point, the Aldaen Navy is kind of out of the picture, although they are definitely within range of their cannons. So they're definitely still a threat if stuff should go real crazy here.
Man.
Trago, what do you want to do?
I guess, yeah, because if something happens with Trago, I'm probably going to react to that.
Because
he's there on deck.
He's on the Willow Weeper deck, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
They made it across.
So, right?
Yeah, where is Trago?
Yeah, did they make it across with me?
Yeah, Trago. We'll say they were able to bring you across the gangplanks, and you made your move when they're on the Willow Weeper. So now you're on the deck of the Willow Weeper.
I'm on the deck of the Willow Weeper, and I'd like have a second to.
Yep, you have a second to act.
Oh, God.
This is gonna be bad.
Goddard sees what's going on. He begins to run over towards
do I do it
Trago.
or not?
Barnard turns around and he's like, "What's going on over there?" And Barnard begins to make his way as well back on the gangplanks to see what the commotion is about.
All right, Matt. I have two. Like, I'm thinking of two options here. How, based on what we were using the dynamite before, how long is the fuse for it to go off? I have one stick of dynamite left.
I mean, you can light the fuse anywhere you want. If you want a long fuse, I mean, you can have a good 15 seconds.
Okay, how close am I? How close am I to like where it goes down? Like, can I light it and throw a stick of dynamite down there? Is to where it goes down to where like the cannons would be and everything, or am I not close enough to that?
You're not close enough to that. No, you're kind of in the middle of the deck now.
And then how many people are around me? How many bad guys?
You got 5, 6, 7, 8 guys right immediately around you, and a little further away, you've got a few more guys. Jeez.
Do I fucking hightail it? I don't have a thing like. But I can double dash. How far can I get with my double dash then? Is dash double the?
Yeah, you could get normal
But
dash.
then you don't get an action.
Yeah, but if I could climb out and do a double dash, try to get across the gangplank in one turn, maybe only a few guys would get a shot off at me.
Maybe only a few guys.
You know what? It worked before. Maybe it'll work again.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna down the Mittendorf Merriment.
Okay.
What does that do again?
So
It's a
Trago
D100, isn't
top
it?
off of the potion
Yep.
and chugs the Mittendorf Merriment. Now here's what I want you to do, Trago. I want you to roll a D300. So roll a D100 3 times and tell me what you get. At this point, when you're doing this, let's run back down to Niv. Niv, when you cast your spell, immediately the soldiers see this girl and they run in like, "Hey,
Okay.
look at this!"
Now,
and they run into the room.
The other spell I want to do is Minor Illusion again. And I want to try and Jedi mind trick the guy in the back with the sounds of women in a different room.
Okay.
Trying to split these two.
Natural one.
Give
Natural
me
one
a
incoming.
give me a deception roll there to see how well you can mimic the sounds.
Well, because it's supposed to be, it just happens. The creature can use its action to examine, to determine it's an illusion with a successful investigation check against my spell save DC.
Okay. Yeah.
So you want me to roll for the other guy is investigating it?
Yeah, go for it. Actually, you know what? I'll do it. 18?
Spell saves 15.
15, okay. So this other guy hears the noise.
Can I spend my last luck of the day to make you re-roll that?
Does that make me re-roll or you re-roll?
It can. 167.
Is Middendorf Merriment different than Theondir Thunder? So they're the same thing.
They're essentially the same thing. Remember, you went to the shop and you picked up some of the new bottles. That actually the same guy who had made Mittendorf Merriment had also been experimenting in Theondir before he left and meant to.
Matt, so
Mittendorf.
how do I roll D300 then? Is it the person?
You roll your percentile die and the other one, the regular one, and then just add up all three. Do it 3 times and add it up.
Okay, so it's like the one that has like 40, 60, 80, and then the one that's just
Yep.
0, 8. Okay.
Yep.
Roll add those. It's-
Okay, I guess it looks like I can only use luck when I make an attack roll, ability check, or saving
Yeah.
throw, or if you are attacking me.
Yeah. So this guy runs out of the room. He actually turns around to investigate a little bit, and he hears the sounds, but he's not convinced by it, and turns and starts to come back in again. At this point, Bolin, you are so fast. You are up on the deck now. At this point, and
Well-
you see what? Yep.
But I mean, before I'm going to follow this old man. But as we're leaving the lower deck, I will touch the floor and cast Burning Hands. So I start another fire
Okay.
in the basement.
Okay. Once again,
and then-
you're cast out of your spell, your dimension, and then you take the ring back on. I'm assuming again.
Yeah.
But the ship begins to burn now as well. Old man, what are you doing? You're heading upstairs.
Still heading upstairs.
Okay, you eventually come up to the top of the deck, and you see there's a scene in front of you. There are crew members all over. You see several guys around a crate. You see Goddard and Bernard at the end of the gangplank beginning to walk back onto the Willow Weeper at this point. What do you want to do?
So Tim told me to go to the other ship.
Yep.
Okay. So someone's on the gangplank though?
Yep.
Is there just the one?
There are actually 2, and you've got crew coming back and forth on both carrying crates and supplies. So the gangplanks are full of crew members at this point. Barnard is the one closest to the nose of the ship, so further up.
I try to cross the gangplank.
Which one? The one with Barnard or the other one?
The other one.
Okay. So you.
If I see Barnard on the gangplank, can I try to dislodge it? Like, he'd be going back to the Willow Weeper, so he wouldn't see me necessarily.
No.
Would that be smart if I did that?
Everybody else is doing stupid shit. Might as well go for it.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so you're gonna run onto the gangplank and just what are you gonna do? You're gonna just.
Is it like push? Would that do it? I think I have advantages on push or whatever. But yeah,
You're gonna have to give me a strength check, and this is a pretty heavy gangplank.
Yeah. Well, yeah. While he's distracted, let's give it a shot. Natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
And I have what, a +3 on my strength? I think. That's the little number, right? Below the.
Yep.
So yeah, that'd be 23.
Well, Jen, you get over to the gangplank and you begin now to get down on the deck and put your shoulder into it and really trying to push it, and it begins now to slide a little bit. It's not enough to get it to fall in. I mean, this is a really heavy gangplank, and besides, you still got some people on top of it. And as being to push now, Barnard, feeling this, turns around and looks down to you, and says, "What are you doing down there?" Raises a pistol up at you and says, "Back off!" And at this point, I think we should go ahead and roll initiative so we can keep straight the actions here. We're not officially in combat, but we are, at least we need some initiative order here. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. Before that, though, let's take a break, and we'll take a quick pee break, fill up with some drinks. We'll do initiative, and then we'll get back, and everyone can finish their actions, along with Trago and his drink there. So 2 minutes, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, guys, let's jump back into this. I don't have anything set up for this, so this is going to have to be all theater of the imagination. But if you haven't rolled your D20 for your initiative roll, go ahead and roll that now. And let me know what you got here.
20.
20. Whoa.
14 with my -2 modifier.
14. Okay. All right. So let me just get these numbers rolled out here. Let's see. Trago, you're going to be on the top of the list here with your action. And then Bolin, you are next. And then it's Goddard. And then we have Niv. You're next. You guys rolled amazing. Jen, you're up next. And then we have Eric with your character. He doesn't have a name yet that you guys know, so we'll just call him the old guy. Barnard is after him.
Call him Fred.
Then we have the crew for the Arif tips, and we have Sallyward, the Navy, the Willow Weeper crew, and finally we have Tragnol. Okay, Trago. You rolled a 90.
Yep.
Okay,
God,
so
that's right. Oh my God.
here's what I need you to do now. I need you to roll one more D20.
That is a 6.
Okay. And then roll me a D4.
D4.
You're a mushroom.
That's a 4.
Okay. So Trago, you ingest this bottle, and as the crew members begin to walk back to see what the heck this is, this living thing inside of here, there's suddenly this blast of energy, of light around you, and smoke. And when the smoke fades, for the next 4 minutes, Trago, you are a vulture. Inside of the crate is a vulture sitting there going, "Ah, ah."
Oh my
inside the
God.
crate. So
Matt,
you were a
you
vulture for 4 minutes.
You can't tell me that's random.
Oh
Yeah,
man, that's
totally.
amazing.
All
So
right,
I
Treg,
turn
the
into an
Fermi
animal,
fish?
then I have to roll a 20 to determine which animal, and then a 4 to determine how long. Basically, that's awesome.
So you are a vulture for the next 4 minutes. So if
Do
you
I have my own mind, or am I like a straight up bird?
you have your own mind, but you basically the way this is going to work is just like morph. If you take the damage, complete damage here, you go back immediately back to your own form, and any
Okay,
damage
so
above and
that
beyond the
polymorph,
hit points of the
whatever.
vulture, you'll go back. So you can go ahead and look up the vulture stats. If you just search for D&D vulture, you'll get your vulture stats. Trego, so that'll be your action right there as you drink the potion. Bolin, you are up now. You come onto
Do I have a
the
movement?
yeah, well,
Or
you
is
can
it
go
like
ahead and have
is
movement. Sure. Do you want to what do you want to do?
I
You
wanna
can fly
try
at
to
this point.
fly to the other, like fly as high as I can,
Okay, you take
Or up
off
to the,
flying up in the
up-
air.
up to the mast or whatever, the crow's nest in our ship.
Okay, so you're gonna fly to the crow's nest where Terrence was thrown off by Groggle on the
Yes.
Aerotip Spitfire. So you immediately fly up. The crew jumps back out of the smoke. Immediately comes this vulture flying out, and the crew shouts out, "They're keeping vultures in these crates! What the heck is going on here?" And they look over at Tragnold, and he's just like utterly flabbergasted. He never knew of any vultures that they had loaded up in the crates. Barnard
you
is
have
looking a
5
little
hit
confused
points.
as well. Goddard, they sort of pause and like, what the heck? They begin to walk back to the ship. Bolin, you're up.
Am I on the top deck?
Yeah, have you made your way to the top of the deck now? Still invisible at this point.
Yep. Who is first, Barnard or Goddard, on the gangplank? In my perspective,
Goddard is closer to you. Barnard is further down.
is he across yet, or is he still walking across?
They're kind of in the middle of the gangplank. They were walking back
Okay.
to investigate this crate. Yeah.
I will walk onto the gangplank, still invisible,
Gosh.
and slit his throat.
Goddard.
Or like,
Say-
yep,
You say that like a
Him?
mass murderer.
him, or I mean, with my mace, like take a swipe at his head.
Okay. Go ahead and
That-
roll an attack for me.
It's a
with-
natural one. It's gonna
with
be a
advantage.
natural one.
Roll an attack with advantage.
2 natural ones.
I'm curious if, because I'm in the pocket dimension, if I can still hit him. Oh my god.
With advantage, bro.
With advantage. 4.
Dude, how'd you call
I
that?
rolled a 3 and a 1.
I told you.
Wow. Good job, Eric. Good job, buddy.
Technically, you were wrong, I guess. But
It's WWGD. What would Groggle do?
So Bolin, you come running up, and immediately Goddard senses something happening at the gangplank as it sort of moves around. And as you swing, he sort of instinctively steps backwards, and you swing and miss entirely. And Goddard, sensing something, begins to just charge forward. It's his turn at this point. Goddard is going to just run straight forward, sensing something, and he's going to jump right back at you, Bolin. Natural 20. Oh my gosh! And he's pushing you as if pushing you off of the gangplank at this point. Give me a let's see. Let's do bludgeoning damage here, and then I want you to give me a dexterity save.
He tried to push me off.
Double damage. 12 points of bludgeoning damage to start with.
I'm not going to resist getting pushed off of the gangplank because I have water walk.
Okay.
So if I fall onto the water, I don't care.
Okay, so you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and you
Okay.
fall off of the gangplank into the water below.
Okay.
And that is the end of Goddard's turn. He's going to turn around and shout to Barnard, "Something's going on here. We're under attack. Get the men back on the ship." And you see all the crew now begins to run back. Niv, you are up.
Okay. So you had said that those two guys were coming into the room.
Yes.
Because silent image says physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion. So I don't know how have they gotten to this fake naked.
Yeah, one of the
chick
guys
yet?
ran into the corner and it went to grab the girl's arm, and immediately his hand went right through, and the silent image sort of faded away, and he looks sort of confused. So you have a few seconds here where he's
Okay.
looking around like, what is going on? The other guy right behind him also confused. They're staring at this image the whole time. Jean,
Okay.
you're on deck, by the way.
Well, I don't know if this is going to work, but can I get up behind the guy in the back, I guess, and take my dagger and just right in the base of his skull?
Yeah, give me an attack, and I'll actually give you advantage on this because he's sort of confused and just staring at this corner. He doesn't quite know what's going on. I'll give you almost like a surprise. It's a sneak attack sort of thing.
20.
Oh, hit. Roll damage.
I can't just off him, jabbing him in the base of the skull. 7 points of piercing.
7 points of damage. Okay, yeah, you come right in behind his neck, and just your knife goes immediately through. He lets out this sort of gut wrenching as the knife connects, and you see him drop to his knees. The other crew member turns around immediately, sees you doing this as his crew member falls to the ground in this pile of blood, this pool of blood.
I'm just gonna to the guy who's looking at me, as the other dude is like stuck
my
on the end of
God.
my neck. All
Let's
dead
talk
in
about
that.
psychopath.
Yeah.
Give me an intimidation check on that.
Ooh, 22.
22. Okay, I'll mark that down. All right,
Beats himself a little bit.
Jen, you are up.
So
Currently, at
I
this point, you're approaching the gangplank. At this point, and you've gotten in some distance, but
well,
not
with a
entirely off.
with a natural 20, I can tell that I can't flip the gangplank like I anticipated, and I don't have my weapon, do I? It wouldn't make sense for them to have us on deck, and so I'm basically unarmored. So I'm going to try to push Bernard off the gangplank.
So you're gonna charge up at Barnard.
And
Okay.
are we level 5 or 6?
5.
5.
Shit. At level 6, I gain advantage on push, but I don't have that. Let's see if
All right.
if I rage before I do it. I have advantage on strength checks. So this is a strength check, right? Me against him.
Yep.
Or
We
is it
will make
dex?
a contest. Yep. Make a strength check.
Okay, so if I rage before I do that, I have advantage on strength checks.
Yes. So you're
So
gonna rage.
I'll rage as I go up to him.
So
and try
Jen
to-
begins to rage as he stands up from pushing the gangplank, raging. You see your eyes go this bloodshot red as you, with your small dwarf legs, begin to charge up the gangplank straight at Barnard. Barnard turns around. Go ahead and give me a strength check with advantage.
7. 14 plus 3, I think. So 17.
17. Barnard rolls a 19. You two connect. You're not able to push him off. He immediately grabs you and holds you in place. You guys are locked into combat, and he's right next to your face, looks at you, and spits in your face.
Oh dear.
Go ahead, old man. You're up.
So I'm making my way towards the gangplank.
You're running across, yeah, and the crew members now are carrying different things. At this point, they drop their items, and they see you running towards him, and immediately they shout out, "It's the Duke! It's the Duke! What is he doing? He's escaped! He's escaped! Get him!"
I'm gonna cast.
fellow.
So how many? Do I have people right in front of me that are on the gangplank, or?
Yeah, you got 2 or 3 guys. Well, the third guy's just getting onto the gangplank, but they've dropped their cargo, and they're now standing in front of you on the gangplank.
I'm gonna
The
cast.
gangplank's
Ray,
not wide enough you can get around them. You have to get through them.
I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness. At the first one.
Okay.
So that is a 16 plus. What do I add here? I'm not used to casting spells. Do I add anything to it?
Do you have a spell attack bonus?
If you have a spell ability modifier. Yeah, spell
I
attack
gotta.
bonus.
I just gotta. Yeah. So it's 19.
19. Okay, absolutely. The first guy is overcome by this. What is the damage there for the spell? What are the effects?
2d8 plus he has to make a 2d8 plus he has to make a Constitution save. If he doesn't, he's poisoned until the next turn. So 2d8. You don't get to roll 2d8 very often.
Oh.
3.
Oh,
What's the damage?
Yeah, and then he's got to make a spell save or a Constitution save.
All right, Constitution save. He fails it, so he's now poisoned. Correct.
Until the end of my next turn.
Okay, so immediately this sickening darkness comes out of your hand and overcomes him, and you see him like grasping for air as he sort of buckles over a little bit. It's not enough to kill him, but the two guys behind him, seeing you come, begin to shout out, "The Duke has found some components. The Duke is free. Charge him!
I
Charge him!
forgot about the components.
End of your turn. Anything else you want to do there, Duke?
I'll just shout out, the Duke is free, and now face my vengeance.
Okay.
Ooh.
Barnard's turn. Barnard is going to locked into sort of this grasp with Eugen. He is going to try now to push you off the gangplank into the water below.
Uh-oh.
So it's going to be an opposed strength check. Barnard rolls a natural 1. Freaking A. You don't even have to roll.
Is this me?
Natural 1 doesn't matter. Automatically
Yeah,
fails.
but if I roll a
Yeah,
natural
yeah.
one,
No, this was for Jen. This is for
Oh.
Jen. But you didn't roll a natural 1, did you, Jen?
No, 9.
No, okay. So Barnard tries to shove you off now, and you quick sidestep him again, and you two are back, locked in combat again. You're just like, you're kind of shoving each other, coming close to the edge, but nobody can quite throw the other person off. Barnard is at this time sweating quite profusely as he sees that you're quite the match for him. Once again, spits in your face, shouts out, Goddard, help me out here. All right. The crew now for the Aerith Tips Spitfire, they are going to begin now to ready their ship to take off. A couple more of them run over to the gangplank and start to shove the gangplank where you're standing, Jen. There are now
Ooh,
3 of them, and they are moving together in harmony. A little stronger this time. They're able to move the gangplank a little bit closer to the edge at this point. Not quite far enough yet, but pretty close to the gangplank falling. You see now Barnard and you holding in your grasp are beginning to lose your balance a bit. Goddard, seeing what's happening, he starts to head off now back to the Willow Weeper. The crew now begins to get the ship ready, and they're bringing up the sails because we are trying to get the heck out of here on this ship. At this point, you all notice there's smoke that is starting to come out of the Willow Weeper. Out of the grates and out of the stairwell below as the fire has begun to spread. Okay, over to Sallyward. Sallyward is also going to be busy working with the rest of the crew getting it ready. And the Willow Weeper crew now. We're going to have one of them, or the 2 of them, run up. Actually, all 3 of them try to grab you, Duke, and drag you back onto the Willow Weeper. So all 3 of them, let's do opposed strength checks for grappling. First one rolled an 8, second one rolled an 8, and the third one rolled a 12. Do any of those beat you?
Come on, old man.
I got a 9.
You got a 9. Okay, so
Oh.
one of them is able to grapple you and drag you off of the gangplank, bring you back onto the Willow Weeper ship there. The other crew members, seeing the smoke now, begin to head below deck in order to try and put out the flames. So you see pretty much about 8 or 9 of the people up on top of the ship head down below. The other ones run over and prepare themselves by the gangplanks should any of you come onto the ship. Tragnold is also shouting out orders to the ship to get rolling. And at that point, that brings us back to the top to you, Trago. What do you want to do, Trago?
So
You
I
have a lot of time as a vulture.
I have 50-foot flight speed per round. Did I make it to the mast thing, the crow's nest, or am I still like flying towards it?
Did you say 50 or 15?
50.
50. That'll be enough to get you up there, yeah, to the crow's nest.
Okay, so I see Jen and the first mate are on the gangplank.
Yep, Barnard and Jen are locked in this grappling combat, and Goddard is on the gangplank. The crew is now, the Willow Weepers, around the gangplanks. You see that the old man was just dragged back onto the ship.
Okay, where do I see Bolin? And Niv is still down below.
Bolin is down in the water somewhere.
Bolin's in the water somewhere. And then Caroline is...
Oh, we didn't do... Yeah, we never did Caroline.
Oh yeah, Caroline.
Caroline, I'll throw Caroline on the list there. He had I just rolled for him pretty low.
Sure you did.
How is Jen looking? Is he looking like he's getting his ass kicked?
He's holding his own. Nobody's really winning. They're locked in this equal combat here.
And then some random old guys getting pulled back onto the ship. I feel like I'm going to... 'cause I don't know how long I have. I'm going to dive bomb... All right, I don't know who I'm going to dive bomb, so even it's Barnard and it's going to be...
I yell out, "Save the Duke! Save the Duke!"
Who's the Duke?
Oh, he's a fellow Duke. I'm going to go save the Duke.
A fellow
I'm dive bombing
Duke.
the guy that is pulling the Duke.
Okay, yeah, so the guy dragging the Duke across onto the Willow Weeper, you come and dive bomb him with your large vulture beak.
Okay,
Roll
that's
me
a 15 plus... What do I have here? Beak melee. Attacking with my beak. It's a plus 2 to hit.
Could you
Beak
imagine a
damage.
dive bomb just right into the boat? Straight down. It's got a
I hit a 17.
Tom and Jerry.
Okay, that's a hit. Yeah, roll for beak damage.
It's only 1d4. Lame.
Maximum beak
But
damage.
is this the guy that I hit with 3 damage?
No, this is the other guy. There's 3 guys there.
Yeah, all right. 2 damage.
How many?
2.
2 damage. Okay.
Does he let
And
go
do I have
of
any
me?
more? Do I have any more movement speed or?
That would have been all your movement because it pretty much took all your movement to get there. At this point, though, suddenly a vulture comes from above as this crew member is dragging the Duke across, and you come and slam into him with your beak, and immediately he drops the Duke and begins to sort of swat around you, like covering his head. Like, this is crazy. They don't know what the heck is going
Do I
on.
get an attack of opportunity?
Utter chaos at this point. Why not? Let's say as he pulls away from you. Go ahead, Duke. Give me an attack.
Okay,
opportunity.
so I'm going to take my... Do I have my cane? I would take it.
Yeah, you have your cane on you,
I'm
yeah.
going to take my cane at the guy that was grabbing me, and I'm going to swipe at him, and I say, "That's what you get for fucking with Duke von Borgerdang."
Oh.
That's the fake Duke that I am representing.
It's Borgerdang.
Oh,
Dang.
All right, give me an attack roll there.
13 minus whatever. What would that
It's
be?
-2, no?
Your cane attack?
Well, strength is -3, but dexterity is -2.
Did a dexterity there. Yep.
Okay, so 11.
11 just hits. Okay, go ahead and roll me. What cane? Let's see. What would that be? Like a 1d4 maybe?
It's called a quarterstaff in here. Fair
Okay.
enough, right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
1d6 plus
Oh man.
1d6-3 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
What is that? I don't know. Is that a plus? I can't tell.
26 plus 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or -3, because you're an old man.
Oh, no,
That's
actually, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up on my phone. It's printed out, and I can't. Well, it doesn't really matter. I got a 1.
You got a 1.
So hold on, though.
All right, Trago, you successfully were able to connect with him. Bolin, while the Duke is looking at the damage there, you're up, and then Goddard's turn after that.
It's -3.
It's minus.
So it's 1.
Wow.
So, Duke, you do you swing and kind of whack this guy a little bit, giving him a slight bruise on his leg as you shout at him.
Oh, that stings.
He looks extremely irritated at you. It would have been enough to kill a rat, but not to really harm a human.
I did it for the lulz.
All right, Bolin, you're up. Goddard's on deck, then it's Niv.
Is Barnard still on the gangplank?
Yes.
Okay.
He and Jen
Is there a ladder on, like, close by that I could climb on top of the ship? Or
I mean, both of the ships have these sort of ropes hanging down.
Okay.
But it's going to be quite strenuous to get up, so that'll be pretty much your whole turn.
Yeah. I will run around.
Have you cast water walking?
Yeah, I cast it forever
Right at
ago.
the start.
Oh, you did. Okay,
it
okay.
lasts an hour.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Last an hour, yeah. So I'm going with my ring on. I want to run to the other side of the Willow Weeper.
Yes, and you'll be able to do that because of your incredible
opposite
speed.
side.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And then I will cast Fireball on the ship,
Jeez.
like close enough where when I hit it, the hole will start to flood the ship with water.
Oh,
So it
nice.
starts.
Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna try to sink the Willow Weeper.
Yep, fuck that shit.
Well, the Vikes are winning.
Yeah, barely.
Jinx.
Okay, so 10, 14, 18, plus 20, 18, plus 28 total damage to the hull of the ship.
Oh wow, nice. Okay, nice. Oh, so the fire is engulfs the side of the ship now, just slightly above the water level at this point, and you can see that the wood is really taking on a lot of damage at this point. It's not taking on any water at this point, but you've done a decent amount of damage to it.
Oh man.
Anything else you want to say or do there, Bolin?
I'll take my ring. Well, I'll leave my ring off. I don't want to keep. I'm not going to keep it on anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Fireballs
Right.
are big and noisy, and like everyone under decks would know about it, right?
Oh yeah. Not to mention the Aldaen Navy would start noticing the smoke coming up as they're getting on their ships as well. Goddard, seeing what is happening here now with Jen and with Barnard, is going to run around and try to also join in here, shoving Jen off of the gangplanks. So Barnard turns around and charges at you, Jen, and he's going to try to push you. Can you give me a strength check there?
So I think my rage lasts a minute. I should still have advantage.
You still have it, yep.
Yep. Checks.
I rolled a 7.
13 plus 3.
Okay, so you are
16.
able, at this point now, you're able to hold off Barnard as well. I mean, the rage surging through your body. You've got like 2 guys you're holding back now at this point. And that'll be the end of Goddard's turn. Niv, you're up.
Okay,
And
I have
then
a
Jen.
couple questions and things I'd like to do. Most of it just looking at stuff. Because both of these guys in this room were from the Weeping Willow, right?
Yeah, the Willow Weeper. Yep.
So
correct.
yeah, Willow Weeper. Do they have excuse me? Do they have any kind of uniform or anything, or is it just
No,
Pirate
she's
clothes.
regular old sailing
Okay.
clothes. There's nothing fancy about them at all.
So the guy in front of me who's still alive, is he wearing any religious iconography that I can tell?
Give me a quick investigation check.
14?
14. You do notice he has a necklace on that has a ship on it, and you know that oftentimes sailors have those as so superstitious for good sailing, good weather.
Okay.
But that's about it's nothing
that-
religious in the sense. It's more folk
Okay, so
religion,
that wouldn't-
superstition.
Count under the fact that I have multiple holy symbols on me.
It's not really a religious symbol for them, more just a sort of folk.
Okay. Instead, I'm going to refer to the giant explosion and tell this guy that obviously wasn't this ship. Your ship is not going to be around much longer. I won't say anything. Just become part of our crew.
And you rolled a pretty strong intimidation check the last time. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check with advantage, given your intimidation.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah,
15.
15. He's shaking and a bit horrified at this point. Still, he does not really respond to you.
And can I put my dagger away?
Yeah. He's shaken. He crouches and cowers in the back of the room. Not entirely going with this. He just saw his comrade got a knife stuck through the back of his neck, and he is shaken. He doesn't trust you.
Okay. I am just going to back out of the room then.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. You back out of the room with this shaking man in the corner and the pile of bloody mess in front of you as you leave the room. Jen, you're up, and Duke, you're on deck.
All right. I still
Jen,
got
you're
advantage.
you're locked in grappling now with both Barnard and Goddard.
Yeah, I wanna try to push Barnard. I wanna get him off the gangplank.
Okay.
So how long will this range last?
1 minute.
Like
So each
10
of
rounds.
these Each
10
of the
rounds?
Yeah, each round is 6
Okay,
seconds.
so it's still up.
Yep.
2.
Yep.
19 plus 3, 22.
Okay.
So yeah, Barnard. I want to push Barnard off.
As
I
you
was
were
gonna
going,
come like the spit's dripping down my face. I was gonna lick it and say it tastes like orange or something because of his hair, but I couldn't really come up with anything.
as you get closer to the edge, you give a shove onto Barnard, and you see this look of horror in his face as he loses his footing and falls backwards down into the waters below. You look down and see him now swimming, cursing at you in the waters below.
Let's see. Can I try to get off the gangplank? Because
you still have Goddard holding on to you as well.
Okay,
So you're able to push Barnard at once. But you still got Goddard. You can try to pull away from him if you want, but he's going to get an attack of opportunity on you.
Because the 2 crewmates from Arif Tips, they're still working at the plank.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right, I think I will. Since I'm raging, I have resistance to all damage types. I don't really know what that means. But yeah, I'll give him an attack and get off the gangplank.
Okay, so you pull away, and Goddard, as you pull out, he pulls out a knife to try and slice you. That's a 3 plus 3, 6. 6 misses you, right?
Okay, yeah. AC
Yeah.
16.
So you are able to successfully pull away from Goddard and to run down the gangplank and jump back on the Arif to Spitfire as the crew members are continuing to push. Duke, you are up.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I've got the one guy laying next to me.
You get the
And
one
then-
guy laying next to you, yep.
And then,
And
is there a clear path to the gangplank?
yeah, that all 3 of them now have come up on the guy let go of you when the vulture attacked. So now you're no longer connected, tied to anyone. There's a clear path to the gangplank if you want to make a go.
I go
for
as
it.
far as I can to get on over the gangplank and onto the.
Okay, as you run, they're gonna run past 2 guys though. They're gonna get a chance at least to try and hold you and grapple you. So go ahead. I'm gonna roll this out here. Natural 20 and a 16.
Ooh.
I got a 0.
So as you run to the gangplank, right when you get there, both of them each of them grab an arm, and they throw you back onto the deck, holding you down right next to the deck. One of them is still poisoned at this point.
Do you know who I am? I am the Duke von Borgerdang.
Barnard.
Let me go.
Have you guys
Barnard at this
seen?
point is going to grab hold of the side of the ship now and try to now begin to climb back up onto the Willow Weeper at this point. And that's going to be his whole turn because it is such a strenuous thing to climb all the way up on top of the ship. The crew for the Airfter Spitfire, they are now beginning to pull away, and the other two members on the gangplank are now successfully able to push the gangplank off from the Willow Weeper on the front. The crew in the back begin to move a couple of them over as well, and they are able to push the gangplank pretty close. Goddard falls into the water as well. As the gangplank goes down, you see that Barnes is climbing up, and Goddard comes flying down to the water with a splash as well. So Goddard is now in the water. The crew is beginning now to get the ship ready. They are separated away from the rest of the Willow Weeper now, and the Captain Tragnold is shouting out,
Are we able to sail at this point?
to the rest of his crew members. All right, the Willow Weeper crew running down, desperately trying to put out this fire. They are making some headway with the fire in the hull, but not on the outside of the ship. That is still burning. How much damage does that do each round, Bolin? Is it fire damage 1d8 fire damage?
The fire spreads around corners. It ignites flammable objects in the area. I don't know.
We'll say it's 1d8 fire damage each round, I would say. So that's continuing to eat away at the Willow Weeper at this point. Tragnold shouting out directions and orders. That'll be the end of his turn. He's just trying to get his crew members together. Caroline, what does Caroline want to do? And then Trago, back to you. Caroline's been kind of hanging out on the air.
I feel like he'd be taking shots at.
Yeah, taking
shots. Climbing up.
I suppose, yeah, he's got Bernard and Goddard in the water. Although, again, he doesn't know. He wouldn't hate Bernard like he does.
Yeah, that's true. He wasn't a part of that.
Sure. We'll take a shot at Barnard.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d20 then for his attack.
That is a natural 1.
Okay, Caroline runs over. Obviously not very passionate. Arrows fly off and misses. Barnard looking up, seeing the Dragonborn shooting at him, cursing at him as he crawls up on the side of the Willow Weeper. Trago, you're up.
Okay, so I'm still attacking that one dude. What happened to the Duke now? He got pulled onto the Willow Weeper by two other guys?
He's held down at this point by two other guys on the Willow Weeper, yeah.
So is one gangplank now gone, but there's one remaining? Is that
One
how it
remaining,
is?
yep, exactly.
Shit.
The one gangplank where right next to where the Duke is.
This could end me, but how bad? Do I notice the fire is pretty bad?
It's starting to climb up over the side of the ship, yeah.
Okay. I'll go one more chance at one of the dudes. I'll make an attack and then I'll make an attack on one of the guys.
Okay. There's two of them. One is doing a little bit better than the other. Do you want to go on the weaker one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do the one that's doing better. That
Okay.
looks to be doing most of the work. Oh, God, I'm rolling so well, but I can't do shit for damage. So it's 21 to hit.
Yeah. Ultra damage.
Ultra damage. And another 2 damage.
Another 2 damage. Okay. I mean, you're not really damaging them so much, and more as just distracting them when you hit them. Like, of course, obviously, they let go of the Duke, and they begin to swat at you. The other guy, seeing what's going on as well, sort of begins to swat at you as well. So the Duke is let go as free again at this point. Bolin. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna create water and put out the other fire that I started.
I'm gonna put my ring back on and run to. Well, God, no, I don't want to do that. There's a ladder on the side of the ship that I'm on, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I'll throw my ring on and run and climb the ladder up to the top.
Yep.
And so I see just basically chaos, right?
Oh, it is absolutely chaotic here. There's fire crews running around trying to put out fire. You got Goddard in the water. Barnard's climbing up. You've got a vulture attacking some of the crew members. You've got the Duke screaming like crazy.
How many of their crew is on the ship? If I scan quick, is it a good chunk of their crew is there?
If you look around, I mean, a lot of them went down to take care of the fire. So at this point, you've got maybe 10 or 12 of them left.
And are they spread out?
About half and half. Half 6 over by the where the gangplank used to be, and a few more in the center.
Okay. I will.
Or fire, Tim.
Yeah, I'm thinking about just
Burn it
maybe
down.
setting like a mast, setting a mast on fire.
Or some
yeah,
of the sails and rope rigging
Right.
would go up.
exactly.
How many fire spells do you have?
A lot.
Okay.
I mean, I can cast them as many. I mean, they're different level spells, so I have
Yeah.
like 10 spells I can cast. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the main mast. If I can make it that far?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
with your ring on, definitely.
Yep. Take my ring off and cast Burning Hands on the main mast.
Okay.
It shoots 15 feet, so I want to aim it high to start a fire to the actual sail. Right?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So
Oh, man.
3d6. Wow. Oh, 3 6s.
Oh wow.
Swear to God. 18.
Wow.
Yeah, 18 points of damage.
So that basically incinerates the sails, and the pole they're holding the sails begins to burn, and the fire now heads up to the second sail above, and I mean this is a massive fire at this point.
And then I can't see Barnard. He's in the water, right?
Yeah, Barnard's climbing up the side of the ship. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Goddard is going to try to swim out of the water and also climb up the ship as much as he can. That's going to take his entire turn as well because it's quite strenuous to get up the ship. That brings us to Niv. Niv, you're up, and then Jean, you're on deck.
Sorry. So I'm out in the hallway now, right?
Yeah, you backed out of the room.
And I can hear all the craziness going on up top, right?
Yeah, tons of commotion.
Do I go up there? Because Goddard is the Aldaen Navy captain, right?
No, Goddard is the first mate for the Willow Weeper. So he's
Oh.
Barnard's right-hand man.
Okay, so again, just some random schmuck as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And they're both in the water. Not that I know that right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go up top, see what's going on up there.
Okay. You can make your way up there, yeah.
Because so when I get up there, Carolyn's still on our ship.
Correct.
And that's it? Do I see anyone else I recognize?
You see Jean, he was able to run back. That's it.
Oh boy. And their ship is burning. there. I see that, right? What's burning over there?
The Willow Weeper is definitely on fire.
Okay.
And you notice, oddly enough, Niv, as you come up, you notice that strangely enough, the two Navy ships, the Aldaen Navy ships, have set sail, and they are leaving. They frankly don't give a crap about what happens to these ships. They've done their duty, and if you two burn down and kill each other, they could care less.
Nice.
So they are beginning to sail away, actually.
Okay, and I noticed that.
You noticed that, yeah.
Okay. I guess that ship is pretty much... Is there anyone from the Willow Weeper on our ship now? Can I even tell? Because you said they're not wearing uniforms or anything.
No, I mean you know the crew from your ship. The crew has run back over onto the Willow Weeper now, so you're pretty much separated now. You got your separate crews on each ship.
Okay. I'm going to run over to the railing, whatever it's called on a ship.
The gunnel?
Sure, if that's what it's called. I don't know.
Spelled the gun whale.
And that's probably it. I guess I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. I'm not going to do anything else.
Okay, Jen, you're up. And the Duke is on deck.
Duke.
Hang on, I'm looking up gunnel. I think I was right. Yeah, gun whale. Weird. Let's see here. I'm gonna. I think trying to think what makes sense. Seeing the old man, I think I'd like to just try to run over and grab him and get him back onto the ship. He appears to be a prisoner of some kind.
Okay, you'll have to run across. You have to run down and then across the other.
So I got 35 feet. How far is that going to get me to him?
That'll get you. I would say that would get you down and across the other. Yeah, that would get you
so
to
I can
him.
get onto the Willow Weeper close to him.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Watch him run past me now. Okay. Yeah, that'll be my turn. I'm going after
All right.
him.
Duke, you're up.
So am I still held down?
When the vulture came, created a commotion.
Right.
Both the guys let you go again.
So do I have
you're
a
also
clear path,
released.
or can they? They can't try to grab me
They
when I
let you
run.
go, and you have a clear path now, except for that there's a dwarf standing in front of you.
Out of my way!
Okay, so if I move, can I make it across the gangplank and then cast the spell?
You could, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. And then, God, who's in the most trouble here? Is anybody hurt?
No.
I'm pretty hurt.
Can I see?
But-
Can I see Tim?
Oh, you hurt yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, it's
Well, I
mostly
think I
self-inflicted.
was still hurt from last time.
Oh yeah. No, didn't we get a
We
good?
did
Didn't
take a
we
long
get a
rest.
full
We did.
rest?
I don't know. I have 16 written down as my current hit points for some reason.
No, we had a couple days there where we just
Yeah.
sailed.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys had a full
Yeah,
rest.
other than the storm, there wasn't much going on.
it's still only been like 3 days, hasn't it? Like we still got like
2
weeks.
Yeah.
Still about 18 days of sailing left.
I'm gonna run across the gangplank, turn around, and then yell, "Fly, you fools! Let's go!"
Okay. Are you going to take any other action then?
I'm gonna go as far onto the ship as I can.
Okay.
Like if I can get down below or whatever.
So the old man runs into the center, and Tragnold and Sallyward see this old man coming up, utterly confused. But they see he's really no threat to this old man, so they let him come on. Barnard at this point, he's now made it up onto his ship. He begins to bark out orders now for the crew to get the fire put out.
Matt,
and
I
to
hate
load
to interrupt. Can
Yeah.
I interrupt you?
Sure.
When I come up to them, I want to say, "I'm Duke von Borgerdang. Do you know who I am?"
Who are you saying that to?
The Sally Word and
They look at you rather confused, as if they have no idea who that is.
And then I kind of put my arms up and, with my cane and shake my head.
All right.
Sorry to interrupt.
Barnard is commanding the crew now to try and get this fire under control. At the same time, he is commanding a couple of the crew members to run down to the gun ports and to begin to get the gun ports loaded up. So that'll be Barnard's action there. The crew on the air tips, they also begin to run down, a couple of them, to the gun ports. The sails now at this point are let go. They're not taut at this point. But the crew is able now to successfully push off the gangplank in the back, leaving Jean on the Willow Weeper by himself at this point.
No, I'm on it
else is
too.
on our ship?
No, I'm on the Willow Weeper too.
You're on the Willow Weeper too, yeah. As the last gangplank falls, the sails begin to sort of get some wind, and you feel a bit of a jerk as the Helianthus Spitfire begins to move ever so slowly as it begins to catch the wind.
Does it have any sails left? Didn't I burn them? Or did I burn the main
on the
mast,
Willow Weeper?
but-
You on the Willow Weeper? Yeah. This is the other ship.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. I'm on the Willow
you
Weeper.
set fire on the Willow Weeper
Sorry.
there.
Sorry.
Um,
yeah.
Okay, the Willow Weeper crew, they're gonna carry on with the fire in the basement, and they have been able to put that fire out. The fire on the outside, though, is still burning. The fire on the mast is still burning. The ship seems like it is not going to be very sail worthy if this continues on. A couple of the crew members, though, are going to turn to you, Jean, the ones that were attacked by the birds, and two of them are going to charge you, and both of them pulling out daggers from their the sides of their pockets. 4 and a 15.
Okay, my AC is 16.
16. Okay, so
Hooray.
both of them miss as it comes coming in. You just dive underneath them as they come with their daggers above you. Both of them slashing and missing. Caroline. What would Caroline like to do?
Probably take a shot at one of the guys fighting Jen, right?
Jen. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a d20 attack.
Yeah, that's fair.
Roll a d20 attack on the guys attacking Jen.
That is a 7.
7 misses. Caroline is utterly worthless, firing shots all over the place, flying all over. At this point, you see that the Navy ships are almost completely gone. They're almost out of this picture. They have really caught some good wind, and they are taking off. Like I said, they don't care at all about what's going on. Give me a second here to give you a little bit of the story that we left off with Groggle. Before we jump back in here.
Who?
Groggle.
Yes.
As you cast yourself through this portal, before any of this mess happened, from the potion that you poured out on the deck of the ship, suddenly everything shifts from this bright daylight to this of the open sea to total darkness, and you're startled from this abrupt shift. It takes a few seconds for your eyes to adjust to the darkness. The floor you're standing on in this new dimension you've arrived in is smooth like glass. It's black and it's cold. It's spreading out in every direction without any apparent end. And off in the distance, you see a single beam of light focused on a small area. There are several shapes illuminated, but it's difficult from this distance to see exactly what it is. So, Groggle, you see in the distance some shapes, but it's hard to see what they are from this distance.
I start running towards them.
As you approach the light, it becomes clear what you could barely make out from a distance. There's a single silver throne rising out of the glass floor. And resting on the throne is a beautiful ebony-shaded piece of armor, a sort of headpiece of sorts, or a helmet, almost identical in style to the breastplate that you are wearing, that you have already donned. And in the center of the helmet, the area covering the forehead, is an ornately etched Roman number 3, I. And you hear the helmet almost whispering to you. Next to the helmet and the throne is an orb. A large orb of a reddish sort of hue.
Hello?
Yeah.
I immediately put the armor on. I take the orb and I smash it to the ground.
The orb? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll.
I got to attack the damn thing? But I want to put the armor on first.
Okay. As you put this helmet on, there's like a rush of energy into your body, and you feel this exhilarating feeling. And the breastplate also like tightens around you, and there's a burst of energy in the breastplate as well.
The one I already had on, right?
One you already have on that had the mark, the Roman numeral 1.
Yeah, the one you couldn't take off.
So, Groggle,
Oh yeah.
your AC now goes from 5 from the breastplate to a total of 7 when you have both these pieces on you. Plus
So plus
7.
2.
Yeah. Plus
So then I need one more piece, and I assume that's the Vambrace of Silus. In my head, meta because Groggle doesn't really know. I want to smash the orb.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Attack would be. Oh, I got to get Groggle up. I didn't think I was going to be able to play him. 18 with my
18.
Morning Star, of course.
Okay, give me a damage roll. So Groggle, you slam your Morningstar down, and the crack begins to move through the entire orb. It doesn't destroy it, doesn't shatter it, but as it does this, it's as if there's a mist inside of the orb that begins to move around, and you are suddenly given an image, a view of a room. You look inside of this room, and it looks to be a long stone corridor, something like an enormous medieval cathedral, with stone walls on both sides, stretching over 100 feet upwards, with sconces every 10 or 15 feet or so, with torches in them, illuminating the walls. And incredibly, both walls are filled with what looks to be hundreds or even thousands of ornately framed paintings. It seems as if you are peering into something of an incredible art gallery.
Huh.
Something Groggle would surely appreciate.
And I whisper to myself, I whisper to myself, why am I here?
And we will leave it there with Groggle for now.
Back to the Duke.
All right, guys, let's do a little bit more here, and then we can wrap it up for the night. Trago, back up to you. We got Bolin on deck as well.
Okay, so the mast is on fire, the side of the ship is on fire, and then me, am
Willow
I
Weeper
still
is in
grappling
trouble.
with that one dude?
You are still grappling with
I
the
was
dude, yeah.
fighting him, and then
Squawking and flying around like
Bolin
crazy.
and Jen are on the ship still.
On the Willow Weeper, yeah.
But I don't. Do I see Bolin? I
as the-
might not see Bolin though. Does you still have your ring on, or do
No,
you have
I
to
took
take
it
off?
off.
Yeah, you
I
took
did
it
take it off.
As the air-tipped Spitfire is now beginning to pull away.
Right. All right. So I'm gonna fly back to the ship, to
Okay.
our ship.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull back, and I'm gonna go like halfway, and I'm gonna kind of like circle around a little bit and make sure everything's good.
Yep. As you begin to circle on the ship, you see the crew members below now begin to pop open the gun decks, the gun ports on the gun deck of your ship, and you look across at the Willow Weeper, and a couple gun ports pop open there as well, as if the ships are preparing to fire on each other.
Oh, I can't do anything about that though. Shit.
You're still a vulture.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what do I give them a better
The question
target?
is how quickly they can fire, because now one ship is pulling out like this, right? So they
Right.
won't be able to fire on each other anymore unless one of them is able to turn. The Willow Weeper's in pretty bad shape right now. It's not doing much turning
Yeah.
at this point. So
I'm just gonna get pretty close. I'm gonna get back to our ship
okay,
and hope that Bolin and Jen can do something.
All right, Bolin, you are up as you see the vulture fly. This vulture fly back across to the Aerotip Spitfire. You are left on deck. Fires, flames all around you as Barnard and Goddard are now making their way back up onto the ship. The crew is running around trying to put out fires like crazy.
And Jen, I can see Jen.
You can see Jen, yeah.
Is he a big boy? Like, could I carry him? I probably couldn't carry him.
Well, you're not that heavy, are you, Jen?
But I'm not big. I'm not very strong.
I don't know if I have a weight written down anywhere. I'm not like a trim 190 like Groggle was at the beginning. It's like 6.5 feet,
Bet it's not
190.
me.
Like, wait, really?
37 pounds.
We changed that.
Groggle gained some weight.
I mean, me and Jen are basically trapped on this ship.
Well, you can water walk, but you can
I mean,
also swim.
Yeah, I can water walk, but I can't cast it on him. I don't have any. I've used all my third level spells.
I have. This is
Oh, crap.
metagaming, but I have 35 movement. So if I dash, if I can get to the rope ladder if it's within 70 feet, I can at least get on the ladder to the air tips. I don't know if I can do that though.
How far away is
we're gonna
the
have to
air
wait.
tips from us? Like,
I mean, you guys are.
100
I mean,
feet?
you're a good like 10, 12 feet away.
Whoa.
Actually, so you're right next to each other. The gangplanks weren't that long.
Oh, okay.
So
Wanna
the
jump,
ships
bro.
are pulling away from each other like this, but you're still within 10, 12 feet of each other.
Okay. How far away am I away from Jen?
Jen, you guys are about 30 feet away.
Yeah, apparently the gangplank just fell behind me.
Okay.
Just came up, fell
That's
down.
the old man that I was going for. It's like, Sam.
Well, I mean, I could just put my ring back on and just make my way over to the other ship, but then I'd leave Jen.
What about Paul's character?
Oh, he's still on the.
He's-
He's still on the
he's on the
regular
air
ship.
ship.
Firing arrows and missing. Apparently.
Where's Barnard from me?
Barnard just climbed up on the front of the ship. He just climbed up and came over. So he is he's about 30 feet away from Jen in the front of the ship.
Could I do a charge at Barnard and try to tackle him off the ship? I like dive at him, tackle him off the ship, and we both fall off the ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Roll
then
me an
as
attack.
I'm
Yeah.
falling, I'll yell at Jen to follow me. Follow me, I got you, or something, something like that.
Yeah, give me an attack roll on Barnard as you run at him with advantage.
Advantage. That is a natural 20.
Oh man!
Oh,
So you come flying at him as Barnard is just crawling over the side, and you nail him as you shout to Jen, "Follow me!" You put your shoulder into Barnard, and and he flies backwards with you as you both fall down to the water again. He falls through. You hit and roll in the water.
Oh yeah, you stay on top of the
I'm
water.
still on top of the water.
And
Okay.
actually, you know what? We should have done this last time. You should probably take some bludgeoning damage from that if it's falling on, if it's like ground. So 5 bludgeoning damage for this fall, and let's do it retrospectively as well. 2 more, so do 7 total bludgeoning damage.
All right. That's more self-inflicted damage. I'm almost dead. Getting close. So, yeah, I'll wait for Jen. In the meantime, I want to keep my hand on Barnard's head underwater.
Okay, wow.
I don't want him to come back up.
All right, give me a strength check. Give me a strength check. Oh,
Strength is 10.
natural 1. Barnard
Oh.
is held
Oh.
under the water, and he is not doing well. So I think the what is the suffocating rules? It's like 1 minute plus your constitution. Yeah, within a little over a minute, if you can hold him under the water for a minute, he's dead. But the ship is pulling away at the same time.
I just don't want him to escape more than anything. I want
Okay.
him, if anything, if he dies, oh well. But I want to, if I can, bring him back onto our ship.
Okay. Goddard is going to turn around and seeing what just happened. He is seeing Jen as well, and Jen beginning to move in the same direction. He's going to charge you, Jen. So he's going to come on 30 and attack you. Holy moly, natural 1. He misses you entirely. That's the second natural 1 in a row I rolled. So he comes at you, Goddard, and you just evade him and run around him as he falls down on the deck. Yeah.
So I'm standing at the gunwale. So the only person left on the other ship is Jen still, or did he make it?
No,
off the
Jen is
ship?
still there. Yep. He's up after you here.
Oh, I don't really have anything to help him get back, I guess. Is he still fighting with Goddard?
Goddard he came and tried to attack him, but
he missed, but
horribly.
he's still right there, right?
Yeah, Goddard's right next to him.
Okay. I guess I can. Is there anyone else around that we need to worry about holding Jen back?
Well, you've got a couple crew members, 2 crew members there as well, that the Vulture was fighting with. So you got 2 crew members. You've got Goddard right next to Jen.
Let me look something up here real quick. How far away am I from, like, Goddard and the other crew members?
You're about 20 feet away because you're about 10 across to the other ship, and you were right on the saddle. If you're next to the gunwale, you're within actually 15 feet.
Where's it at? I'm trying to find a spell, sorry. Ooh, 15-foot cone. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try and cast color spray.
Okay.
It's only a 15-foot cone, so will that hit all the people around Jen?
It will, yeah.
Like, close enough?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. They're all bunched up there.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to cast color spray to try and blind those 3 guys. So 6d10. Yeah, okay. Let me find my dice. So 29 hit points worth of
Oh, wow.
life totals worth of people are blinded.
Wow. Okay, so that starts with the weakest, and then moving upwards. So the 2 crew members are immediately blinded, and Goddard as well. All 3 of them.
Okay, and then I'm just going to yell to Jen, "Jump! Now's your chance."
All right, Jen, your turn.
That lasts for 1 round.
I was gonna say something to Goddard, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to now that he's blinded.
See you later.
I'm gonna say, even though, can I just say something to Goddard as a free action?
Yep, absolutely.
I'm gonna say to Goddard, remember that we left Barnard alive. And then I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna run and jump off the ship into the water.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to try to get to Bolin and just say, we gotta go. We gotta get on the boat. Like, can I make it to the rope ladder?
All right, I'm looking this up because I figured you were going to jump. The rules for jumping. I think you need to give me a dexterity check. And let's see.
I got a hook arm, not a hook leg. Come on.
Okay, it says when you make a long jump, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score. If you move at least 10 feet on foot immediately before the jump. What's your strength score?
18. That would be
Wow.
hilarious, jumping from ship to ship. Do I roll for that, or what do I roll?
Yeah, give me a dexterity check. To see how you pull this one off.
19.
19. Oh, nice.
Plus 1, I think. Do I add my modifier? I have just 1 modifier, so 20.
That's enough, though. That's enough for the DC. So you're able to jump off the ship 18 feet, covering the 10 to 12 feet of
hilarious.
distance. You guys look back and suddenly you see this little dwarf, like, wow, come flying off the ship, landing down a little bit halfway down the ship onto the ropes. Give me a strength check to see if you can hold on from the impact.
Am I still? Is my
hook is
rage
just gonna
over?
right in the side of
I
the
think my
boat.
rage is probably
You're still raging, yeah.
Oh, so I get advantage on strength checks. 17, 13.
No problem. So like a magnet, you just onto these ropes, and you are holding on there as the ship is now beginning to pull further and further away. Duke, your turn. You're on the ship at this point.
Are we fairly safe from everyone else then?
Yeah, the ship is pulling away now from the cannons even at this point. So it's not fast enough that they're going to be able to even shoot cannons on you. You're still close to the ship, but there's no cannons. The crew members are not able to get across unless they try to jump. At this point, they're busy putting out fires.
I don't do anything.
Okay.
I go like in the hold or whatever. I get off the top level.
Okay.
No, you should start explaining to Sallyward and Trongold who you are. You should like go into your family lineage. Oh, okay.
I'm
you
scared.
See, I come from so and so.
I've been in prison for like 4 months. Is
Spoiler
Chad still a
alert.
vulture?
Yep.
I want to eat that vulture.
I got like
starving.
3 minutes and 45 seconds left of being a vulture.
Isn't it fun that we just spent 3 hours playing 15 minutes of game time?
Yeah. You guys are good. You guys have a talent for that. Absolutely.
I go like not hide, but you know what I mean? I like go find a safe place.
Yeah. Barnard is gonna get his turn now, and he's gonna pull a knife off of his buckle there and try to jab you, Bolin. And he's gonna take an attack against you underwater. Because he is underwater, being held underwater, I'm gonna say it's a disadvantage because he's in a really bad situation right now. With disadvantage, no, it's an 8. That's gonna miss you.
That's a miss.
Barnard is frantic at this point. The drowning sensation is coming over him. The crew for the Airtip Spitfire are continuing on now. They're going to fire. One of them is going to fire a warning shot off the cannon. They can't hit at this point, the ships have passed too far that the cannon can't hit. So they're basically just firing off a cannon shot to just make a point against the Willow Weeper. The Willow Weeper crew now has successfully put the fire out downstairs, and they are now moving back up to the deck to try and put the fire out on the side of the ship. But their ship is in serious damage. Their sails on one of the masts are completely gone now. So they are really in some serious trouble. Carolon, do you want to take any actions here?
I mean, I don't think so. I think he'd probably just kind of hang out and maybe keep an eye on the Duke. If the Duke goes down below deck, I think he'd probably follow him.
Okay. Well, let's shift the combat now just to you, Bolin and Barnard, because you're the last two that are involved in this combat. And Jen is climbing up the side of the ship.
Okay.
That's right. Yep. So Bolin, what do you want to do? The ship is pulling away.
I would just yell at him, because I don't know who Barnard is. Like, let's go, leave him.
The front ropes are now gone, so you cannot climb on those anymore. That ship has moved on already.
For me?
For you, yeah, but you can see Jen and the ropes in the back are now coming closer to the two of you as you're fighting in the water.
I say, come on, leave him.
I'll yell to Jen. I'll be there in a second.
I'll shake my head and keep climbing.
So I will. I'll let Barnard come up for air so he sees he recognizes me. I'm assuming,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. He comes up and as his head comes through, he looks and connects with you and sees your eye. You see this look of half terror, half rage come across his face as he looks at you and says, "You."
And I'll kind of kneel down on top of the water. And I'll say, I told you not to fuck with us. And I will swipe my mace on top of his head. Basically try again what I tried. Yes, whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Like
Roll me an
killing
attack.
Killing
Roll me an
style.
attack.
With advantage or no?
Yeah, go with advantage. Yeah, because he's still. Yep.
Ooh, yeah, that hits. That is a natural 19.
Hit. Roll damage.
6 damage.
6. Okay. Barnard, you see as you connect with his head, the side of his face, the skin on his face just sort of peels back, and blood begins to cover now the water, staining his clothing, staining everything. Barnard is still conscious, and he's going to get, looks like one more chance to attack you back, Bolin. As the ship is coming close, you see Jen is getting very close to you at this point, the ropes on the back of the ship. With disadvantage, 2 plus his bonus, he misses you. The ship is now coming close. Jen is right there. The ropes are there. Bolin, do you want to... Now you have to make a choice here. Do you want to try to climb the ship, or do you want to take a last attack on Barnard?
So if I attack him, I miss the ship? Is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
the ship is coming. Yeah.
So then we risk 2 years down the road, Barnard coming back with a vengeance. One-eyed Barnard. I'll take that risk. Before I leave, before I grab the rope, I'll say, if I see you again, I'm finishing the job. I'll grab the rope and climb up and leave him there.
Oh, so brutal. You grab the rope. Jen is right next to you. Jen, in his rage, grabs his arm around you and holds you tight and begins to help you climb up. Because you are weakened from so many hit points you've lost. Jen has still a lot of power left in him. He begins to help you climb up. And as you pull away from the Willow Weeper, you see Barnard looking up at you with this look of rage, the side of his face entirely bloodied from the mace attack. You see crew members running around the Willow Weeper as the flames are still fired up on the mast. And you guys climb up and begin to drift away, leaving the Willow Weeper with smoke and fire, Barnard floating in the water. And as you come up on the deck, the crew now busy at work to get the sails going, to get you guys some speed, to get the heck out of there. You begin to sail off into the horizon, leaving the Willow Weeper behind you. After a few minutes, Trago, there's a flash of energy, this light, and this boof, and there you are, back to your normal self. You've been transformed back from your vulture. The crew is still busy, but the rest of you have now gathered around, and there in the center is this old, scared man, the Duke, standing in the middle of the ship, shaking in fear, with a story that he may or may not share with you. And that's where we can end for tonight.